to be starting in about 2-3 minutes. Let people join in, and then we'll begin in about next 3 to 4 minutes. आप सभी का स्वागत है इस वेबिनार में जहाँ पे वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ न्यू थिंग्स टुडे एंड ऑल्सो I'll request everyone to grab a pen and a paper as well so that you can note down all the insights that are going to be shared here on from now. And if my voice is clear, you can just maybe show a thumbs up or maybe put it into the chat box so that I'll come to know. And once we begin, I would want you guys to keep questions ready with you so that at the end, when we will have a Q&A session, you will be able to ask all your doubts. Okay, I can see a lot of thumbs up. Yes, I believe everyone is active and ready to begin now. Yes, people are more joining in. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sakshi Dhamankar and I welcome you all to this webinar that is going to be a special webinar that is going to take place. Also, if anyone wants me to show anything on the screen or maybe help you guys with anything out, you can put it into the chat box and ping it to me. Any questions you have, you can ping it to me as well. Okay, so let's begin. Hopefully, I'm very much audible to everyone. So before we begin, and before, of course, Rohit sir takes over, I'll just like to give a bit of a background of what exactly India charts and what exactly is strike all about. तो यहाँ पे okay, I can see a few hands are being raised, but I think we'll do that towards the end of the session. And तभी हम सारे सवालों के जवाब रोहित सर आपको दे देंगे. So if you could lower your hand as of now. And okay, perfect. So now we'll begin. So just giving you a synopsis of what India charts kya hai, strike kya hai. So India charts started way back in 2001 as a simple weekly market update. Over time, it's grown into a full-fledged platform that is offering daily and monthly insights, जो कि सिर्फ stocks के लिए नहीं है, that are there for commodities, currencies, and stocks as well. तो यहाँ पे आपको everything, all the research is you are getting it under one roof. Well, some of the content is still freely available here on the blogs as well, and a lot deeper insights that you can get across on the stocks are now available exclusively on India Charts Insider Club. Now, what is India Charts Insider Club? उसके बारे में थोड़ा मैं यहाँ पे बता देती हूँ. So India Charts Insider Club is a research thingy that we have over here. All the exclusive research that the team curates, you get it on Insiders Club as well. So the core of India Charts Insider Club is all about helping people understand markets better, and so that you can trade better looking at all the research that is out there. So this was about India Charts Insider Clubs. Now moving on towards Strike as well. So Strike is all in one your go-to stock market analysis platform built for traders like all of us and investors like all of us, not just traders, let me repeat, also for the investors. So it comes with advanced tools like a lot of indicators that you might have also come across, but there are a lot of tools that can help you navigate through the markets easily, much more easily. So I urge you all to also sign up to Strike right now. If you have any questions, you can ask towards the end of the webinar. So do not forget to do that as well. So the idea behind Strike is pretty simple. Powerful technology shouldn't feel complicated and it should be easy. काफी easy होनी चाहिए technology. आपको maneuver करने आना चाहिए towards the markets और आपकी trading journey easy होनी चाहिए. So that is why Strike has come into place. So this is about the two wings that we have, India Charts as well as Strike. So it's all about the markets right now. Now moving towards, I'm not going to take much of your time, of course, and moving towards who is going to deliver today's webinar. So, of course, all of you know Rohit Srivastava sir, and he needs no introduction as well, but just a small introduction about him. So Rohit Srivastava sir is a market veteran with over 30 years of experience. He is the founder of India Charts as well as Strike platform. ये दोनों के founder भी है. Over the decades, he's seen all the market bubbles, crashes, scams, rallies, you name it, and I think he has seen it and he has studied them as well. So that kind of experience brings a completely different perspective to trading and investing. And today, all of us are here to know about that as well. well. So before I hand it over to Rohit sir, I'll just like to show you guys an interesting offer that we have come up with, and I'll show it at the end as well. But I'll just make sure that I show it over here right now. So this is a completely exclusive offer for all of you all right now over here in the webinar. Hopefully you can see my screen as well. If you can see the screen, just put a thumbs up, and so you can see it on the screen as well. So it is an offer that has a combination of 6 months of strike plus 6 months of India charts that will only cost you around 9,099. And if you go for 1 year strike membership plus 1 year of India charts, that will cost you 19,999. So it is an access to India charts advisory plus strike analytics, so it will be a powerful combination. So I'll just keep it over here on the screen so that if anyone wants to scan the QR code right now, you can do it, and you can scan it over here as well. Do not worry, I'll also be showing it towards the end. So if anyone misses out, you can surely scan it at the end as well. I'll also put a comment in the chat box. So if the QR code, maybe you are not able to scan the QR code because you're watching it from your phone, so that you can click on that link that I'll be sharing in the chat box, and then also you can subscribe. Any questions about the membership, I'll answer them individually. So you can keep on adding the questions in my chat box. I am hopefully I'll be able to answer all of them. आप सारे questions डालते जाइएगा chat box में, और मैं सभी answer करने की कोशिश करूँगी. Okay, I'm going to stop my screen right now. I'll make sure that we show this once again to everyone as well. Okay. Also, a reminder to all of you, this is a webinar that is also being televised on all the social media platforms of Strike and India Charts. So if you miss out on anything, if you have maybe a bad internet connection, if you are going to travel, so you will not be missing out. आपको ये सारी चीजें बाद में भी देखने को मिलेंगी on the YouTube channels or on the Twitter as well. So let's begin with the session now. Hopefully, as I had mentioned earlier, you have a pen and paper and you have your questions ready easily so that you can ask sir at the end. So Rohit sir, very good morning to you first of all.
Very good morning to everybody.
Yes, good morning. I think sir, we can begin. Hopefully people are ready.
I'm loud and clear, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, good morning everyone. And it's a good bright Sunday. So we should be in a good mood to learn a lot from this session. As the call out is, we're going to be learning two specific things. One is the use of the RMI, and then specifically the options trading strategy. I'm going to be adding one more tool to it, as I mentioned on X, that we will try and look at, which is also part of the Strike platform. So that's an additional layer that can help fine tuning the entry exits. But the RMI is not important only for option trading. It is a tool that we use for every time frame, whether you're a short-term trader, intraday trader, long-term investor. The RMI has a utility in being able to time and execute your entries pretty well, along with a couple of simple indicators. If you're using a moving average or something, or a trend line along with that, very good. But what you also learn in this session, because when I talk about how to use the RMI in the first part, what is the RMI and how do we usually use it? What you end up learning is actually something much deeper, which is how do you use momentum indicators themselves properly. And I have not found this literature anywhere in any book, because many of them do specify broadly things like divergences and so on. But there are some things which I will mention, which are the minuteness of it, which are not really brought out by most of the material that you come across. And so that is why I think I call it momentum cycles, which is what we try to capture with RMI. And while some of the studies, early studies and explanations around rate of change do talk about it, they don't go into it the way that I will, in terms of what it means in real execution, how it helps you to be patient and wait for the next trade, how it helps you to avoid bad trades. These are some very, very important things. And the last one, which also often gets missed by most of the text I've ever read, is multi-time frame analysis, which is applying using two different time frames to be able to do the timing aspect and have a view of the direction, broad direction and execution with using two time frames that really improves the probability of your outcomes. And this discussion is specifically important today because of what has happened yesterday. So what has happened yesterday on the RMI, on the daily and weekly, we will look at it so you'll get an idea why it's important. So you get a live example of where we are. In fact, even on the option trade, I mentioned on X that we are at a setup where we are getting a signal right now. So we will not only discuss the last few signals, we discuss what we are getting right now and how it is executable over the next one day for those who've not already executed it. Because there are two parts. One is I teach you how to do it, you use strike, you do it yourself, and then we do try to highlight every time the strategy shows a signal, I discuss it and explain it under the research services. So that is why the combination has been offered to you. You can choose one or the other, where you get our insight, where you can do it yourself because you're here on this session. And it gives you confidence because then you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. So that is what. So all of this we're going to discuss today, right? RMI, it's application, it's multi-time frame application, it's use and timing, and then we combine it with the swing and one more indicator to do the options trading strategy, right? Which is the real win-win because most people lose out on option buying. I have not been an option seller for ever since options started in India. Except we ran some product once in Sher Khan, where I worked for almost 18 years, for those who don't know. We ran it in the early days of the launch of derivatives with the help of one of our derivative heads. And we did it for exactly 12 months, after which they stopped the product. And if I tell you why they stopped it, you will not believe. They stopped it because we went right for 11 months, but the 12th month we didn't go right. Now you'll say, what the heck does that mean? That means that when you start selling options and it's profitable, first people don't believe it. Then it continues to work, then they still don't believe it. And after it has worked for a long enough period of time, they believe it exactly when it's supposed to go wrong. You know that you cannot be 100% right in the market. So even if I give you something that's 90% right, and by the time you believe that it works is the 90%, which means the 10% is about to happen, that 10% for you is enough disappointment because the first trade you did went wrong. So you either think the guy is cheating you, which was not the case. People just thought that everybody did it in 1 month and lost money. But for that 11 months that they were doing it, they were not really working out. So this is something which most traders face. They don't really plan for, something to go wrong, when most strategies will work 70%, 60% of the time. But even if I give you something that works 90% of the time, you're not going to be happy, because in the end, that 10% will disappoint you. And this is typically what happens when you follow somebody else. See, when you do it yourself, it's one thing. You went wrong, you're still struggling, you're going wrong, you're struggling to go right. You believe your ego doesn't, accept that you are going wrong and you need to learn something, then eventually you will learn. But when you follow somebody else, then he has to be right every time. If he goes wrong once, he's an idiot. And even there, we do exactly what I just told you. We follow him 4 times. Okay, we keep following, but we don't do anything he says. Then when we see, acha, he's right again, he's right third time, he's right fourth time. Now let's follow him. And if his personal strike rate is even 65%, which means that he's going to go wrong 35% of the time, that 35% happens exactly when you start executing trades. Because he was right the last 4 times. So according to, he's supposed to be right the fifth time. But that 35% is going to happen on some day, usually when you start doing it. So usually when you start doing it, he will be wrong 3 times in a row. You will say he's a cheat, he's a crook, and you will stop following, and then he will go 6 times consecutively. This is typical. Another thing which happens, they follow analyst number 1, analyst number 2, analyst number 3. जब एक सही जा रहा है तो उसके पीछे भागो, दूसरा सही जाएगा उसके पीछे भागो, तीसरा सही जाएगा उसके पीछे भागो. बट एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि आप उसके पीछे तब भागते हो जब वो सही होने लगता है. मतलब वो 4 बार सही जाता है तब उसका आप करते हो, तब तक दूसरा सही होने लगता है, फिर आप इधर से उधर भागते हो, फिर उधर से उधर भागते हो. तो आपका नेट रिजल्ट क्या होगा? तो वो वही होगा जैसे कॉइन टॉस करने में होता है कि आपकी प्रोबेबिलिटी कॉइन टॉस करने की क्या होती है. जिसको थोड़ी भी गणित आती है वो जानता है कि प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ स्पिनिंग कॉइन इज 50%. आधा टका ही है, 50% ही है. 50% बोलते हैं हिंदी में कि आप सही हो गए या गलत हो गए, हेड जाएगा कि टेल जाएगा. तो आप 3 लोगों में गेस कर रहे हो. आपको लगता है 3 एनालिस्ट बहुत अच्छे हैं, इनका स्ट्राइक रेट 70% है. बट अगर आप कॉइन टॉस करके उनको चुन रहे हो कि मैं इसको पीछे जाता हूं फिर इसके पीछे, तो आपका क्या रिजल्ट होगा? आप उसका गणित कर लो, जिसको प्रोबेबिलिटी मैथ्स आती है, जिसने थोड़ा भी सीखा, इट इज 0.5 टू 0.7. एनालिस्ट इज 70% राइट, यू आर स्पिनिंग अ कॉइन एंड चूजिंग द एनालिस्ट 0.5%. 0.5 टू 0.7 इज इक्वल टू 0.35. मतलब आपका जो अचीवमेंट है एनालिस्ट के साथ वो 35% या 35% से ज्यादा नहीं होगा. मतलब 70% ऑफ द टाइम आप नुकसान पाओगे अगर आप एक या दूसरे के पीछे भाग रहे हो. अभी मैंने पूरा टॉपिक बदल के कुछ और ही आपको बताया, क्योंकि मेरे मन में आया कि ऐसा होता है. तो ये चीज ना करें. आपको लगता है दूसरा समझदार है, उसके पीछे जाइए. मैं तो अपने पास बुला भी नहीं रहा हूं. आप तो आ गए क्योंकि आपको कुछ सही लगा. बट आप 100% फॉलो कर पाओगे कि नहीं, ये आपके ऊपर है. तो मैं आज आपको स्विंग और ये जो स्ट्रेटेजी दिखाऊंगा, आप स्क्रीन पे देखोगे, आपको लगेगा ये तो बहुत ही सही लग रहा है. बट आप करोगे कि नहीं? जब तक आप करोगे नहीं, और जिसने 4 बार किया वो मुझे अगर आके बताए कि मैंने 4 बार कंजेक्यूटिवली फॉलो किया और हर बार गलत हुआ, तो मैं बंद कर दूंगा. ये वेबिनार आगे से होगा ही नहीं. क्योंकि ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. ओके. हिस्ट्री एंड डेटा इज ऑलरेडी शोइंग अस. और फिर दूसरे लोग बोलेंगे ये तो आपने सबको बता दी स्ट्रेटेजी, कल से काम नहीं करेगी. मैंने बोला हाँ. इंडिया में कितने इन्वेस्टर हैं? मिलियंस में. कितने कर रहे हैं इसको? कुछ हजार लोग कर रहे होंगे. तो हजार लोग क्या मिलियंस का अंत कर देंगे? तो वो स्ट्रेटेजी बंद हो जाएगी जो लाखों लोग कर रहे हैं. है ना? जब सब लोग करने लगना का मतलब बहुत बड़ा होता है. सब लोग करने का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि 4,000 लोगों ने किया. मिलियन में से तो 4,000 तो सक्सेसफुल हो जाएंगे मिलियन के सामने. वो मिलियन को लूट लेंगे. तो यही करना है आपको. आपको वो स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलो करनी है जो सब लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं, और कोई नहीं कर रहा है ये जो मैं बता रहा हूँ. ठीक है. इतने 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 लोग भी नहीं है. तो आप कर लीजिए जब तक कि काम चल रहा है. सालों तक चलती है, बहुत समय लगता है जब तक कि बहुत सारे लोग किसी चीज को फॉलो करें. और इसलिए ज्यादातर जो तकनीकियां हैं टेक्निकल एनालिसिस की, वो क्यों चलती हैं? वो इसलिए चलती है कि पूरी दुनिया कर ही नहीं रही है. कौन करती है? आधे तो फंडामेंटल और इकोनॉमिक में फंसे हुए हैं. और कई लोग तो घर सिर्फ म्यूचुअल फंड खरीद के सो गए हैं. तो ये लोग थोड़ी बैठ के चार्ट देख रहे हैं. तो आप जब सोचते हो कि आप दूसरों से जीतोगे, आप इसलिए जीतोगे इन तकनीकों से क्योंकि कोई और कर नहीं रहा है. लोग उसको सीख नहीं पा रहे हैं, और सीखने के बाद भी फेलियर होता है क्योंकि हमारा जो मेंटल कैपेबिलिटी है वो वहां तक नहीं होता. हमें नॉलेज तो आ गई, बट हमारा जो दिमाग है, जो इमोशंस हैं, जो उसको मैनेज करना है, आप जब जीतते हो उसको संभालना है, और जब आप हारते हो उसको भी अपने आप को संभालना है, उसमें फेल हो जाते हैं. तो नॉलेज पूरे होने के बाद भी लोग फेल होते हैं क्योंकि ह्यूमन एस्पेक्ट पीछे रह जाता है. तो ये कई चीजें हैं जिनको हम लोग अपने मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम्स में काफी डिटेल में डिस्कस करते हैं, महीनों तक, घंटों तक. बट ये बेसिक पॉइंट्स हैं. मतलब आप सुनोगे तो आपको समझ में, आप बोलेगा कि हाँ ये तो सही बोल रहा है. फिर उसके बाद आप फिर से पूछोगे पूछोगे मुझे आखिरी सवाल, सही सर आपने सब कुछ सही तो बोला, पर ये मैं डिसिप्लिन कैसे लेके आऊं अपने अंदर? ये मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैंने बहुत बहुत सारे वेबिनार किए, सेमिनार्स किए हैं, शेर खान में किए हैं, और अच्छी अच्छी जगहों पे जाके करके आता. आखिर में बोलने के बाद लोग चेयर से उठ के आके मुझसे यही सवाल पूछते थे. तो इसलिए मुझे पता है कि ये सवाल लास्ट आता है कि सब सही है, सब कुछ समझ में आया, पर ये डिसिप्लिन कैसे मैं अपने आप में लेके आऊं. तो डिसिप्लिन का जो फाइनल तोड़ है वो यही है कि वट एवर यू लर्न इन दिस सेशन यू हैव टू एग्जीक्यूट लाइक अ प्रोसेस. आपको डाउट नहीं करना है. आप अगर किसी मेथड पे डाउट करोगे तो आप एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर सकते. तो आपको बिलीव करना है कि ये ज्यादातर काम करेगा, और फिर आपको बस करना है. और इसमें फिर कुछ मनी मैनेजमेंट रूल्स रहे हैं कि आप इससे ज्यादा पैसा हर बार नहीं लगाओगे. नहीं तो वो जो 70% स्ट्राइक रेट और 30% गलत ही होना है. आपने 30% पे ज्यादा पैसा लगा दिया और 70 पे कम लगाया तो भी आपका नुकसान है. तो यू हैव टू कंसिस्टेंटली फॉलो समथिंग ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन, देन इट विल वर्क 70% ऑफ द टाइम फॉर यू. तो कंसिस्टेंटली लाने के लिए और ज्यादा गंवाने नहीं के लिए आपको कुछ मनी के रूल्स डालने पड़ेंगे कि हर ट्रेड पे या हर बेट पे मैं इतने लगाऊंगा, और जब मुनाफा ज्यादा हो जाएगा तब मैं जाके वो बेट साइज को बढ़ाऊंगा. कुछ अपने रूल्स बना लीजिए, तो आप एग्जीक्यूट करिए. ठीक है. तो मैंने ये ओपनिंग रिमार्क्स पूरे दे दिए, समझा लिए, ताकि एक ग्राउंड वर्क फ्रेमवर्क बन जाए जिसके अंदर आपको काम करना है. और ये फ्रेमवर्क आपको खुद ही बनाना है. इससे ज्यादा मैंने आपको गाइडलाइंस दे दी, इससे ज्यादा तो नहीं दे सकता क्योंकि आई डोंट नो ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन इंडिविजुअली. So now we will go into the RMI indicator. Some of you may know about it. Some of you know how to use momentum indicators. But for those who don't know or have never used one or have used it but are probably incorrectly using it, this will be a primer for you on how to use indicators. Okay. And specifically, of course, how to use the RMI. तो टेक्निकल मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर्स में दो तरीके के इंडिकेटर्स होते हैं, एक होते हैं नॉन रेंज बाउंड इंडिकेटर्स होते हैं, जैसे कि RSI, विलियम्स परसेंटेज आर, स्टोकेस्टिक्स, ये सब 0 और 100 के बीच में घूमते हैं। बट मुझे क्या पसंद है, ऐसा इंडिकेटर जिसका कोई रेंज ही ना हो, ना 0 ना 100, जितना ऊपर जा सके जाए, जितना नीचे जा सके जाए। और इसलिए हम लोग प्राइस मोमेंटम बेस्ड इंडिकेटर्स में आते हैं। और इसमें भी सबसे पॉपुलर इंडिकेटर जो सब सब लोग जिसके बारे में पहले जान जाते हैं वो है MACD। बट MACD की वीकनेस क्या है कि उसके जो सिग्नल्स हैं थोड़ा ज्यादा ही लेट हो जाते हैं। जरूर आप उसके डेटा टाइम फ्रेम्स बदल सकते हैं, बट इट बिहेव स्लाइटली डिफरेंटली। और मैं चाहता हूं कि उस चीज को हम लोग ने चाहा कि उसको थोड़ा और अच्छा करें, तो इसलिए वी डोंट यूज दैट मेथडोलॉजी। MACD से बहुत ही अलग है जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बट वी ट्राई टू कैप्चर द मोमेंटम साइकिल्स। और उनको भी स्पीड अप किया है मैंने। स्पीड अप इसलिए किया है ताकि मेरे सिग्नल्स जो हैं वो MACD या किसी भी स्टैंडर्ड इंडिकेटर से सबसे पहले स्मूथ सिग्नल्स आए, और 2-4 दिन पहले आए, ताकि कुछ तो बचा रहे हमारे पास कमाने के लिए। तो सिग्नल्स भी जल्दी आने चाहिए, और स्मूथ भी होने चाहिए, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा बाई सेल विपसॉस नहीं होना चाहिए। और उसके बाद एक तरीका होना चाहिए समझने के लिए कि ये साइकिल पूरा कब हुआ, कहाँ हुआ, कैसे हुआ, कहाँ से हमें लेन देन शुरू करनी है। सो दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इंडिकेटर यूजेज। लाइक आई सेड दैट इट्स नॉट ओनली फॉर RMI। आप कोई भी अगर मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर नॉन रेंज बाउंड यूज कर रहे हो, then these rules, if you apply to them, you will find a huge difference in your own analysis. But I don't know how many of the indicators capture cycles fully. Ours definitely does, in the way that I'm about to explain. So how do we capture cycles? It's that you need to plot an indicator that has a sine wave. A sine wave means it goes continuously like this, right? So when it goes continuously like this, okay, what you end up getting is, an indicator that is going up and down this black line. What is this black line? It's the zero line. The zero line means where the momentum becomes zero. So when does momentum become zero? The momentum becomes zero when prices stop going up. So see, ये momentum अगर ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है, भाव, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि भाव भी नीचे आ रहा है। इसका मतलब है कि भाव ऊपर गया और वहां पे कंसोलिडेट कर रहा है, और जब ये कंसोलिडेशन होता है, of course the momentum comes down, and at some point of time momentum जो है touches zero. तो जीरो जब मोमेंटम हो जाता है, देन प्राइसेस आर रेडी टू गो अप अगेन, एंड दैट इज व्हेन द मोमेंटम अगेन टर्न्स अप। ऐसा नहीं है जरूरी कि ये ग्रीन बिल्कुल इधर नीचे तक जाए। ये ग्रीन यहाँ जीरो को टच करके भी वापस ऊपर जा सकता है, बट जीरो तक आना जरूरी है। दैट इज व्हेन वी से कि एक साइकिल कंप्लीट हो गया, एक ही अप मूव और डाउन मूव करेक्शन कंप्लीट हो गया, और वहां जीरो लाइन से जब नया कुछ शुरू होगा तो भाव भी नया कुछ शुरू करेगा। ओके, सो दिस इज द बेसिक थीसिस ऑफ वेटिंग फॉर द जीरो लाइन। इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं कि देखिए, लोगों को ये नहीं समझ में आता कि ये करेक्शन यहाँ तक आया तो यहाँ से भाग जाएगा क्या। अगर मेरा RMI ग्रीन लाइन इधर ही है, मैं बोलता हूँ नहीं, चाहे भागे या नहीं भागे, भाग भी सकता है, बट मैं अगला ट्रेड लूंगा जब ये जीरो आके वापस ऊपर ही जाएगा। यहाँ पे मुझे बीच में नहीं एंट्री लेनी है। सो व्हाट डज दिस गिव्स यू? दिस गिव्स यू पेशेंस, राइट? पेशेंस ही तो है जो हमें चाहिए। पेशेंस तो मिलता नहीं है, हमें तो हर दिन सौदा करना है। वी वांट टू टेक अ ट्रेड एवरी डे एंड गो होम। हाउ डू वी गेट ओवर दैट? वी गेट ओवर दैट बाय using an indicator that gives us patience. So this gives you patience to wait for the next trade. Now, if it does go up from here, what do you do? So there's a way to deal with this. Key, do you really get out of the last trade, and at what time do you get out? If you get a sell signal, which is a false signal. So now we will look at that: sell signals, false signals, correct signals. What are they, and how do we identify them? So the first thing to understand was that there is a cycle. The cycle comes back to zero when there is a consolidation, and coming back to zero ensures that we start a fresh cycle. So what we want to do is we want to enter something in the early part of a cycle, in the early part of the stages, so that we can ride the entire cycle, the next entire cycle. We don't want to get in between. The reason we don't want to get in between कि कहीं पे हम लोग फंस जाएंगे, या तो
Sorry,
लक
sir.
हो
I
सकता है
think
कि हम लोग यहाँ पे एंट्री लें, बट कभी कभी फंस के इधर भी आ सकते हैं।
so. I think you haven't shared your screen. That is why everyone is raising their hands.
You should have told me that long ago.
I was trying, but I think I was muted again.
Oh, then I've wasted an entire talk. Anyway, not much. So I'll have to do it all over again. Now you can see my screen. And if somebody was trying to incessantly call me because I can see my phone, it will be muted. I will not pick it up. So You have to tell me here if there is a problem.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I was seeing a call, somebody was ringing, but I didn't know why. Anyway, but I will not pick up a call during the session. So now I'm going to go over this again if you didn't see the screen. See, what I've been talking about, and since I've drawn it all, it should not be difficult, is every indicator has a zero line. Zero line is the point at which momentum comes to zero. Okay. And then we plot an indicator, and we want an indicator which goes like this, which goes up and down the zero line. So every time it comes down to the zero line, we consider that a momentum cycle is complete. Okay. Now this is price. The black line is price. Prices go up. Does it mean that when you come down to the zero line, prices are, completely, prices are going to fall? No. They may just be consolidating as you're seeing the black line. So if they're just consolidating, okay, then what happens after a consolidation is prices simply go up again. Okay. So if they're going up again, at that point, the momentum will again turn up and go up again. It's not necessary like that it has to go all the way down. But what is necessary, what is important is that it must come back to zero. Okay. Before it turns up again, whether it turns from here or it turns from lower, that's okay. This coming to zero is what gives us patience. Okay, this is what I was talking about. It gives us patience to wait for the next cycle because you want to ride a cycle from the beginning to the end, from here to here. You don't want to get in here, you don't want to get in here when the noise is happening because those are not comfortable places. Your risk reward may not be right. The chances of getting a return may be low. Or you might get stuck. It may look good for some days and then when it comes down, it will hit your stop loss. So you want to ride it in the early stages where you have a good risk reward. Okay, so the idea always is to ride the cycle from early stage, and if you missed it, you missed it. You wait for the next cycle. Because when you start, your starting point is important. Because when you start correctly, then only you will have an end that will be correct. Okay, so that's what the zero cycle concept really teaches you, that we will get patience. हमें पेशेंस आ जाएगा कि हाँ हम इंतजार करेंगे अगला ट्रेड लेने के लिए, हमें बीच में नहीं घुसना है. Okay, so this is one of the basic points of good indicator, that it works in these cycles and it allows time for it to come down. But there are cases where you will find कि हाँ प्राइस यहाँ से ही वापस एक्सटेंड हो गया. ओके, तो ये एक्सटेंशन को हम लोग पूरी तरह राइड करेंगे, वो कैसे करेंगे और किस तरह करेंगे? So that is what we will now look at. We will look at the variations that happen. This is a simple context of an indicator. अच्छा, now to get buy and sell signals on this indicator, what do we need in addition? What we need in addition is we need a buy sell signal. So to get that buy sell signal, what we also do is we plot a 9 EMA of the green indicator. Green indicator is RMI. We take a 9 EMA. This is typical in most momentum indicators. We plot a 9 EMA of the indicator, and wherever it is crossing, it is a signal. So this is a buy signal. And then when it crosses down, it is a sell signal. Then again, it will go all the way down, another buy signal, and so on. So if we want to be bullish, we know this is the buy. But is this necessarily the sell? Okay, in most cases it is. If it is a simple, swing from down to up, it's a sell clear. But in some cases, we have a case for where prices, tend to extend from in between. How do we really identify that? So now we'll look at what happens in real time. Some of the cycles are clean like this, what I said, buy to sell, buy to sell. Some of them have a slight variation. So now we look at the variation. What is the variation which happens in real life? ये इंडिकेटर जो है वो सीधा ऊपर नहीं जाता है. ओके, एक मिनट, ग्रीन नहीं आया. वो सीधा ऊपर नहीं जाता है, वो ऐसे जाता है. ओके, कभी कभी इधर जीरो तक आएगा फिर वापस ऊपर जाएगा. ओके, और कभी कभी ये तो हो गया फिर वापस जाएगा. ओके, तो अगर ऐसे गया या पिछले वाले जैसे गया तो हमें करना क्या है? तो पहले हम लोग ये बेसिक केस देखते हैं कि इसने ऐसे किया, यहाँ आया फिर ऊपर गया. ओके, तो इसका मैं 9 EMA भी डाल देता हूँ, ये ऐसे ऊपर जाएगा, यहाँ क्लीन है, यहाँ पे विप्सा हो गया, यहाँ पे ऐसे जा रहा है, फिर यहाँ पे आ जा रहा है। तो अभी मेरा इंपॉर्टेंट बाय इंडिकेटर कौन सा है? एक ये है और एक ये है। यहाँ पे मुझे एंट्री लेनी है या यहाँ पे मुझे एंट्री लेनी है? यहाँ पे भी बाय, यहाँ पे तो ये क्रॉस हो रहा है, सेल हो रहा है, बट यहाँ पे वापस बाय देगा। ओके, तो यहाँ पे सेल आया, फिर यहाँ पे वापस बाय आया, यहाँ पे वापस सेल आया, यहाँ पे वापस बाय आया। किस इस बाय सिग्नल पे मुझे बाय करना है? क्या इस बाय सिग्नल पे मुझे बाय करना है? आंसर इज नो। आंसर इज नो। क्यों नहीं करना है? क्योंकि ये वापस जीरो तक नहीं आया। तो यहां पे जब बाय सिग्नल आया, जीरो के नीचे से आया, यहां पे ग्रीन ने जीरो को टच किया, यहां से बाय सिग्नल आ रहा है, ये भी ठीक है। सिग्नल जीरो के ऊपर है, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। इट इज अबव जीरो, दैट हैज नो मीनिंग। It's a bi-signal after the green line has touched zero, that is important. So whether this bi-signal comes above or below doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. This is a good bi-signal. This is a good bi-signal. Every other signal is useless. These are not to be acted upon. Okay, so that is the noise. Now the next question is this a good cell signal? Is this a good cell signal? Should I wait? So till when should I wait? So for that we have to also study price along with either a trend line or a moving average or some kind of an additional price break, because prices are underlying. So what happens when the momentum moves up, is prices are going up. Okay, then when this momentum comes down, price pulls back, right? Then prices go up, they pull back. They go up, they pull back. Then they again make one more new high over here, which we often call as a negative divergence. ये किसी भी momentum book में आपको मिलेगा. But price trend has not reversed. So what do we wait for a price trend reversal? For a price trend reversal, we wait for either this trend line to break, or some people who use moving averages, we use a moving average and we want the moving average to break. Okay, कि ये नीचे से moving average चल रहा है, अगर मैं ऑरेंज कलर में मारता हूँ, ये moving average चल रहा है, ये कहाँ पे ब्रेक होगा? तो it's only when prices break one of these green or orange levels along with this sell signal is where we exit or get out of the trade. Okay, this is the whole purpose. Why is this the whole purpose? The purpose is यहाँ पे मैं एंट्री करूं और इसको पूरी तरह से राइड करूं, पूरी तरह से यहां से यहां मुझे पैसे कमाने हैं। ओके, और यहाँ पे एग्जिट लेना है। और फिर यहाँ जब बाय सिग्नल आएगा, जबकि यहाँ पे करेक्शन हो जाएगा और फिर से प्राइसेस विल ब्रेक आउट along with buy, then I want to buy over here again. So this is where the noise has to be managed. एंड दिस इज द करेक्ट एंट्री सिग्नल। अब इसी चीज जो लोग शॉर्ट कर रहे हैं, इसी चीज को अपसाइड डाउन करके शॉर्ट करना पड़ेगा। अभी बाजार जो शॉर्ट वाला 3 महीने से था वो खत्म हो गया, तो आई विल नॉट पुश यू टू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट द शॉर्ट साइड, बट यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस हैज टू बी डन अपसाइड डाउन इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट द शॉर्ट साइड। द सेम थिंग, तो सेल सिग्नल्स विल कम ओनली आफ्टर यू कम डाउन फ्रॉम द जीरो लाइन। तो अगर वो टच करके वापस यहाँ सेल दे रहा है और वो उसका भी क्रॉस ओवर हो रहा है, then we will look at that for the sell signals. But provided it is a bear market, now how will we determine that whether the trend is bullish or bearish? Okay, इतना तो हम समझ गए। अब बाय वाला करना है कि शॉर्ट वाला करना है, ये कैसे समझ में आएगा? इसका जवाब है वन टाइम फ्रेम हायर। मतलब ये अगर डेली चार्ट है जिसपे मैं एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा हूं अपना बाइंग और सेलिंग, तो बाय करके बेचना है कि बेच के वापस बाय करना है, दैट इज डिटरमाइंड बाय द हायर टाइम फ्रेम। इन दिस केस इज द वीकली चार्ट। तो अगर वीकली चार्ट पे मेरा आरएमआई इंडिकेटर बाय मोड में है, मतलब उसमें ये बुलिश क्रॉसओवर आ गया, ओके, तो दिस इज बाय ऑन द वीकली, और फिर डेली में मुझे ये बाय सिग्नल आ रहा है, तो मैं तो लॉन्ग ही करूंगा। शॉर्ट करना ही नहीं है, ये सेल सिग्नल आए या ये सेल सिग्नल आए, ये शॉर्ट करना ही नहीं है। शॉर्ट तब करना है जब मेरा वीकली इंडिकेटर सेल में जा चुका होगा, विच मीन्स व्हेन दिस इंडिकेटर टर्न्स डाउन एंड व्हेन द वीकली गोज इनटू सेल, देन ऑन द डेली चार्ट जहां सेल का इंडिकेटर आएगा, देयर वी विल थिंक कि हाँ अब शॉर्ट कर सकते हैं। तो हमें एक ही ट्रेड लेना है। हायर टाइम फ्रेम हमें बता रहा है कि हमें तेजी का ट्रेड लेना है कि हमें मंदी का ट्रेड लेना है, और फिर उसके छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे हमें वही एग्जीक्यूट करना है, मतलब बाय एग्जिट बाय एग्जिट बाय एग्जिट। बाय सेल मतलब लॉन्ग शॉट नहीं करना है, लॉन्ग एग्जिट। जब वीकली में सेल आएगा तो डेली में शॉर्ट एग्जिट चलेगा। अब यही चीज आप हर टाइम फ्रेम पे लागू कर सकते हो। इफ यू आप बहुत ही छोटे टाइम फ्रेम के ट्रेडर हो 4-5 दिन के लिए, तो आप डेली और आर्ली का कॉम्बिनेशन इस्तेमाल करें। आप इंट्राडे ट्रेडर हो तो आप 15 मिनट्स और 5 मिनट्स का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो। अगर आप पोजिशनल ट्रेडर हो जो दिन को 3 महीने 4 महीने तक रखना है, तो आप वीकली और डेली का कॉम्बिनेशन कर सकते हो। और आपको और भी हायर टाइम फ्रेम में जाना है, 1 साल 2 साल, तो आप मंथली और वीकली के कॉम्बिनेशन में करिए, तो 6 महीने 1 साल 2 साल तक का भी ट्रेड बन सकता है। तो कौन सा ट्रेड आपको करना है, किस टाइम फ्रेम पे आपको इन्वेस्ट करना है, वो आपको टाइम फ्रेम चूज करके आप उसका नतीजा निकाल सकते हो। तो सबसे पहले ये डिसाइड कर लीजिए कि आपको कौन सा टाइम फ्रेम इस्तेमाल करना है, मतलब कौन से टाइम फ्रेम में जीना है आपको। और दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर लाइफस्टाइल, क्योंकि आप अगर काम कर रहे हो, काम काजी हो, आपके पास टाइम नहीं है, यू ओनली इन्वेस्ट इन द मार्केट, देन यू विल ओनली लुक फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स विद अ मंथली एंड अ वीकली ट्रेड सेटअप। आप उस पर देखोगे कौन से स्टॉक्स इसमें फिट हो रहे हैं मंथली वीकली में, और उसको मैं इन्वेस्ट कर देता हूँ और छोड़ देता हूँ। आपको और कुछ करना नहीं है। और जो जो आदमी हर दिन ट्रेड कर रहा है, हर दिन सौदा कर रहा है, उसको सब कुछ देखना जरूरी पड़ेगा, राइट, छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे। तो उसको फिर ये सोचना है कि भाई मैं इंट्राडे कर रहा हूँ कि डेली या वीकली। से मैं तो इंट्राडे छूता ही नहीं, आई डोंट डू एनी इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग। मेरे टेम्परामेंट में नहीं है। आई कांट हैंडल इट, आई कांट डील विद दैट, आई डोंट वांट टू स्टेयर एट द स्क्रीन एवरी ऑल द टाइम। But it is your choice. So depending on your choice, you can choose the time frame that you want to work with. The indicator RMI, all this is about the RMI indicator, works on every time frame: 5 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 1 month, 2 month, quarterly, yearly. It works on all securities, Nifty, stocks, commodities, forex, world markets. I use it on everything, same indicator, no changes. Okay. So you have to just decide what, where, how. ठीक है। तो अब इंडिकेटर तो हम लोग समझ गए, ये भी समझ गए कि इसका मल्टी टाइम फ्रेम एस्पेक्ट कैसे इस्तेमाल होता है।
This
Now we look
meeting
at
is
some very
being
quick
recorded.
fixes. Now we look at some very quick fixes on how to uh, apply this using strike, because see, we know now how to use the indicator, we know what the signals are. Now we don't want to spend time doing all this, right? We don't want to stare at each chart and figure it out. You want it to quickly tell you, भाई कहाँ हो रहा है, मुझे ये बता दो। Okay, so that is what now we will get into. Okay, and then we will apply it to options or to investing. So now when we are actually looking at the strike platform, okay, probably move it to white for those on mobile. Sometimes white is easier to see. So here you're looking at the RMI indicator on the daily chart. Okay, and as you go to higher time frames, you see more clean buy sell cycles. So you can see this here, it goes into buy, then sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, but it comes back to zero only here. Then a fresh buy happens here, again comes back to zero here. And what is happening this week? I told you at the beginning, it's become very interesting. We just have a bullish crossover on the weekly chart. And what makes it more interesting is we have a bearish crossover on the daily chart. Now we'll try to understand that if it means anything. But as you already know, that if the weekly gives me a buy, the daily is meaningless on the sell side. What do I want to do? I want the next buy signal. I don't want the sell signal. And now as we discussed, we can use a trend line, moving average, something to say that okay, इसको hold on करना है, तो मैं कहीं ना कहीं इसको इस पे कोई ना कोई एवरेज डाल के देख सकता हूँ कि भाई टूटा कि नहीं। ओके, और अगर होल्ड कर रहा है तो फिर मैं उसको होल्ड कर लूंगा। तो अगर मैं मूविंग एवरेज प्लॉट करता हूँ एंड widen the time frame, say put it on a 20, I say okay, it's not broken, we are still away from it, so fine. So then is this sell signal a sell signal? Why I'm doing that is because right now I don't have multiple bottoms to draw trend line. ऐसे बनाऊंगा कैसे बनाऊं? ओके, बाद में जाके वो ट्रेंड लाइन बन जाता है, तब हम लोग वो ट्रेंड लाइन के ब्रेक पे या तो ट्रेंड लाइन ऐसे बना के ट्रेंड लाइन के ब्रेक पे बोल सकते हैं कि हाँ ये ट्रेंड लाइन टूटा, यहाँ पे सेल सिग्नल आया। Okay, but if you're not able to draw a trend line, or like we could have drawn it here for this wedge pattern that some people can identify, or you can draw it for various different types. But once you have a trend, you can draw trend lines. While it's still developing, you may not be able to draw a broader trend line for this cycle, which is weekly plus daily is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about daily and hourly, then it would be a different picture. Okay, so But this is now me manually looking at the two time frames, where weekly just gave me a buy signal, which tells me that I should only do long trades now. And the daily I will wait for setups जहाँ पे मैं long कर सकता हूँ. Okay. Long sell देगा तो वो sell करना है कि long को hold करना है. I just used an average to try and determine that. I say, okay, I'll wait. And the next thing people will say, okay, that is fine. But how do I find stocks? I'll have to study each and every stock one by one, one by one, one by one, and find out uska daily kya hai, weekly kya hai. So it is too much work. We say no. Earlier I used to do this kind of a scan using Metastock. Ki bhai, what is the RMI on daily, weekly? But now we developed a scanner, a multi-time frame scanner in Strike, which allows you to look at the RMI on all time frames and even filter it out based on what you want to see on what time frame. So say for example, if you do the strategy I'm talking about, I say that weekly chart पे किस किस का ऑलरेडी बाय में चल रहा है. ओके, बाय एंड न्यू बाय मींस ऑलरेडी बाय सिग्नल आ चुका है. और डेली चार्ट पे, एंड इसमें भी ऑल कर देता हूँ. ओके, डेली चार्ट में मुझे नया बाय सिग्नल कहाँ पे आ रहा है. अब आप देखिए, इसमें इसको भी ऑल करना पड़ेगा. और ये मैंने सिर्फ FNO बास्केट लिया है, तो इसमें कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है. Probably because the market corrected for the last 3 days. On monthly, I have a buy and a new buy. And weekly में I want to know कि नया buy signal कहाँ पे आ रहा है. अब देखिए, इंटरेस्टिंग हो गया. Now, but this is of course for a longer term investor. You're getting new buy signals on various weekly charts. Okay, even as the daily, we are not getting fresh because already so many things are in buy, so you're not getting a sell and a new buy signal. But here you are. Some of them are extension signals. Like when you see Aarti, what do you see? Actual buy यहाँ पे आया था. Okay, उसके बाद pullback आया. It pulled back to the average, and now it is giving a fresh buy signal over here. Now this fresh buy signal, we could call it a continuation of the ongoing trend because the RMI didn't come back to zero. But can you get signals here on weekly where zeros have happened? The answer is yes. You will find cases where it has, like for example, here AI engineering pulled back, touched zero, giving a fresh buy signal over here. So you will find such interesting cases where you are getting a buy signal which is just happening and not necessarily after a move. जैसे आप लोग कहीं कहीं देखोगे कि अरे ये तो already ऊपर आ गया. In some cases it will still be turning up and you have lot of room to go. Okay, like Canfin Homes has not crossed the high yet. It's still in very early stages. तो जल्दी भी आता है, ऐसे जरूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा मूव के बाद आएगा. So sometimes you do get, like here you're getting this, right? PVR Inox, the crossover just happened this week from below the zero line over here. So we have a long way to go for this cycle to play out if it is going to. Okay, so that's how we think about it. So you can apply this to any time frame. Now, if you're a day trader, you do the same thing on the daily hourly. So you'll say in daily, you'll say buy and new buy, and you'll say hourly में नया buy signal किस में आ रहा है. So you see there are a lot of new crossovers happening on that side. Okay. Now you can even do different combinations. Say for example, in a crashing market, you'll say सब कुछ गिर रहा है तो monthly तो सबका sell में होएगा. Okay, so everything will be in a sell on monthly. But I want to know कि monthly में sell है, but weekly में अब नया buy signal आ रहा है. Now you have a very different setup here. You're trying to find something which is going to give you an early turnaround. So if I'm looking for an early turnaround, what would be my cutoff on when I'm actually looking at the chart? That what is in sell, has it come back to zero on the monthly? If yes, then on the weekly, is it giving a buy signal? Yes, then there may be a trade over here. Okay, so this is how we can combine it, because it's possible कि monthly zero नहीं आया, weekly में buy signal आ रहा है. So that is what it is, a false signal. It's not a correct signal because the monthly cycle is only not over. So then how do you look for an early trade? So you're getting me. So this kind of filtration, depending on what you want to see, is now actually possible over here. Okay, and actually I may have not gotten all the signals because the hourly was also on a filtration. If I actually remove all of them, maybe we will get more under this. Yeah. So actually you get a slightly, we just widened the list a little bit more. And this then allows you to choose from all of these key where the risk reward is good, where you're getting an early entry and you can actually take that. Okay. So, or you can buy it on a pullback, like here, Craftsman has pulled back, closed down for the week, still given a buy signal. You can even go down to the daily chart and see. So here, you can actually click on anything and that time frame chart will open. So it allows you to see कि okay, weekly में नया buy signal आ गया, daily में क्या है? Is it come close to a support level from where I should make a fresh entry? Okay. Now, if you're a wave analyst, you will also end up seeing something additional. If you're Elliott wave guy, you'll say अरे डेली में तो 1 2 3 4 5 दिख रहा है, नेक्स्ट एबीसी में मुझे बाय करना है, तो छोटा एबीसी होगा या बड़ा एबीसी, उसके बाद मुझे बाय करना है, ये सी जहाँ पे भी खत्म होता है, ओके, मे बी नियर द फोर्थ वेव ऑफ लोअर डिग्री आई वांट टू मेक एन एंट्री. So that the wave guys can quickly look at ki, okay, this is the setup, what is the wave setup, and you have a trade. That is sort of what I end up doing. So now you understood how to use RMI on a multi-time frame to find your signals. And now we will do what is the core of the session today for people to be able to trade Nifty profitably using the combination of weekly and daily setup to buy options. Okay, not sell, we're talking about buy. And for that, the strategy is very, very simple. So there are 3 steps to the strategy. Okay, and some additional pointers that I will give you. Okay, so once you actually incorporate those, then I think you should be able to use it properly. So so the first step is knowing whether we should buy calls or we should buy puts. अब ये सुनते ही you should have gotten the answer. If I want to know long करने की short करना है, what will I do? I go to the higher time frame, which is weekly. So when I go to the weekly time frame, let us put some markers so that you can also see historically क्या हुआ. मैं एक बार में मार्कर लगा दूंगा तो थोड़ा हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव मिल जाएगा कि लास्ट टाइम जब ये सेल सिग्नल आया जो कि यहाँ पे आया, ओके, सी हियर द इंडिकेटर ग्रीन वेंट बिलो द रेड 2.78, यहाँ पे ज्यादा था, यहाँ पे हुआ एक्चुअली, so it went below over here, okay, and once it went below, it has remained in sell till this week. This week is where we have actually gotten the signal again. I'm going to put a dotted line. Okay. And now here we are getting the buy. Before that, we got a bullish crossover here. Then we got a bearish crossover here. So I'm considering every crossover on the weekly. Okay. I'm not looking at, and of course, the ones that are coming from the zero line and then from the top. We're making it that way. So this is a sell signal. So when we look at these buy sell signals, what do I get to know? I get to know that यहाँ से यहाँ मुझे शॉर्ट करना था, यहाँ से यहाँ मुझे लॉन्ग करना था, यहाँ से यहाँ शॉर्ट ट्रेड्स ढूंढने, फिर लॉन्ग ट्रेड्स ढूंढने, फिर शॉर्ट ट्रेड्स ढूंढने. ओके, इतना क्लियर हो गया. तो शॉर्ट ट्रेड ढूंढना मतलब पुट खरीदना है, यहाँ से यहाँ सिर्फ कॉल खरीदना है, यहाँ से यहाँ पुट खरीदना है. अब सवाल उठता है कि कब खरीदना है, एंड फॉर दैट वी विल फाइन ट्यून ऑन द डेली चार्ट, एंड दैट वी विल डू नॉट बाय यूजिंग the momentum indicator. The momentum indicator RMI on weekly tells us this answer. But for fine-tuning option trades, because we need a much shorter time frame indicator, we have created something which is a sentiment indicator, not a momentum indicator. Because sentiment क्या है? Sentiment का मतलब होता है कि सब लोग तेजी में है कि सब लोग मंदी में है, और दूसरा तरीका उसको बोलने का है कि सब स्टॉक्स जो हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं वो मंदी में है कि तेजी में है. Okay, so we create sentiment indicators by using baskets of data, different types of data, whether it's the positioning of investors, whether it's a survey of investors, and in this case it's the underlying breadth or momentum of the stocks concerned, okay, or diffusion indicators where baskets are used. These are all sentiment indicators that are meant to tell us कि सब कुछ गिर रहा है, सब कुछ बढ़ रहा है क्या, और क्या वो एक्सट्रीम में पहुंच गया है कि नहीं. Okay, so now I'm going to just hide the RMI for the time being so that we can focus on the swing, which is at the bottom. Now this is a weekly swing. Like I said, weekly is not weekly पे we have only decided call या put. Now we come to the daily for the timing. Daily की timing ऐसे करेंगे कि जहां जहां पे ये मैंने vertical lines बनाए, उस period में we are going to use the swing indicator at the bottom to decide as to whether we want to buy calls or we want to buy puts. ठीक है. So that means that when the swing indicator, so now this is a period where the RMI was in sell, okay, from here to here. So what would I look for? I would look for readings above 80. Here's a big reading. Here's another reading very close to 80. These are two readings that have happened during this time period. The first one occurs over here. Okay, the second one occurs very early over here. Now, what do these mean is what we will look at. Okay, another one occurs over here. Now, if you go back a little bit also, this was another period where it was in sell mode. We had multiple readings. One occurred over here. Okay, another occurred over here. Another has occurred here. Here. This was an interesting phase because during this phase, the market was continuously falling. Okay, so every time we get a reading above 80, we look for kahan pe top hoega. And for that topping out and execution, what we do is we look for two, three things. One is we actually want the swing to start turning down. So if it's rising to 80, doesn't mean 80 पे भेज दो. 80 का कल 84 भी हो सकता है, 90 भी हो सकता है. जहां से वो घूमने लगता है. So we look for the swing to start reversing and we look for prices to start reversing. So price reversal, we will only come to know when prices from going up start turning down. You get a down close. And when you get a down close, we can also further fine tune it by looking at the RMI on the hourly chart. So the execution to go short over here, okay, or at any other point is when prices turn down, the hourly RMI turns negative and we close down for the day. We can even spread this trade out over 2 days. So what I do is when the swing is very high and starts turning down, I say, okay, let's do one entry. Then we do a second entry when we actually get the hourly and daily confirmation where the hourly RMI gives a sell and the daily gives a close. I do a second and a third entry and that completes it. So in three stages, we end up taking this entire short trade as the top develops. Now you'll notice that in most of these cases, if the larger trend is down, basically, in most of the cases, you eventually get a fall that lasts for a few days or several days. If it's a larger downtrend, as in this case, you see that many of the declines last for several days from here to here. Some are very small, like this one, very small cut here or further cut here. But there are times where it will, when the trend is about to change and it will falter. So falter because what happens in an uptrend? In an uptrend, the sell signals don't work. They work only in stopping it. So you get an overbought reading. क्या होता है overbought reading के बाद भाव रुक जाता है और sideways चला जाता है. And then when it gets oversold, you get a buy again and it goes up. So here you notice that this sell signal, it's not that prices didn't stop. It did stop and go sideways. But once it went sideways, 2 दिन हो गए, 3 दिन हो गए, 4 दिन हो गए, नहीं गिर रहा है. So there we consider that, okay, maybe something is changing. It's not falling and you can actually, close that out. So the larger this is clear that here I have to try and buy puts. Every time I get a signal near the highs, I have to look for where to buy puts. Buy it here, buy it here, buy it here, buy it here. Here it was buy it, and then if it didn't fall, I have to exit it. Okay. But what about here? Now here you got a bullish crossover in RMI from here to here. So यहाँ पे जब ऊपर आया bullish था RMI, तो we don't buy this top even though it fell. Okay, you could have. Now once you're an advanced user, what we say ना कि पूरा क्वांटिटी मत करो. अगर यहाँ आप 1000 निफ्टी पुट बाय कर रहे हो तो यहाँ 200-300 ही लेना, क्योंकि क्या है कि ट्रेंड के अगेंस्ट है. ये जो सेल सिग्नल है ट्रेंड के अगेंस्ट है, इसलिए कम करो. कभी प्ले आउट करेगा, कभी नहीं करेगा, जैसे यहाँ नहीं किया या यहाँ पे कम किया. ओके, बट यहां से जब गिरा, अब वीकली आरएमआई यहाँ पे बाय में है, राइट. ये बोल रहा है बाय, मतलब मुझे कॉल खरीदना है, और यहाँ बाजार घुस गया. क्यों? क्योंकि ट्रम्प साहब ने बोला टैरिफ लगाऊंगा. स्विंग का रीडिंग क्या है? 3 सिंगल डिजिट्स, एक्सट्रीम लो. सो ये जब सिंगल डिजिट्स में आ जाता है ना, या ऊपर में भी 95 98 के पास आ जाता है, ओके, तो हम लोग उसको बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं. जब वो डबल डिजिट्स में है 12 15 18, देन इट्स इंपॉर्टेंस इज स्टिल देयर. ओके, आई स्टिल हैव टू बाय कॉल्स, बट इट्स आई कैन स्प्रेड इट आउट ओवर 2-3 डेज. जब वो सिंगल डिजिट में आता है 3 2 1 और पैनिक में कुछ न्यूज बेस्ड, तो वहां पे तो अंधाधुन बाइंग का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है, विच इज व्हाट दिस वाज लाइक. हियर यू हैव टू go long. So it ended up being a good trade. Now again you got a long here. When this is exactly here when prices had pulled back to the 20-day average and India-Pakistan war was going on. What happened on that weekend? Ceasefire. So you got the signal in advance कि ये हो तो रहा है, यहाँ पे कुछ तो ऐड करना है. Even if you did a partial 30%, it would have paid off. Okay, so this plays out again and again. Again, if we got this signal here below 20, which happens right here at this point, this is when the Iran-Israel attacks happened first time last year in June. So each of these points you got now, it's not always news based. कभी कभी सिर्फ normal correction होता है और उसमें फिर आपको buy signal मिल जाता है. Now you had this period which was again a sell. We saw that one worked again here. This one didn't work. Okay, so definitely there will be some times where it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, if it crosses the recent high or the RMI, hourly RMI on which we are going to try and execute. The hourly RMI is where we will execute along with daily closing prices. That once it is broken out, then we close out that trade. Then we look for the next one. Next one came here. Again, didn't last for very long because the trend was changing. Okay, so you can find points where it may look like that. But after that, here it is in buy mode. How did it work? This bottom over here, it went back up for the next 5-10 days. So there was an opportunity to make some money. Again, it was long over here. And then you got a sell signal here. Now, when you got this sell signal, you got a high reading. What did it mean over here? This is in January. Now this is getting closer to where we are today, right? If you bought puts here, would you have made money? If you bought puts here, would you have made money? This is before the budget. And then it fell on budget day, you know how much intraday. This is just a line chart. But overall, on the next 3 days, you would have quickly, seen options gain a lot. And then again, you got the signal here. Again, you got it here. Again, you got it here. At each of these tops from here, this is almost 1,000-point drop in the Nifty. We had multiple sell signals that would have actually worked out. And after that, you have to only trail till you exit. Okay, so trailing to exit is doing the same thing which I spoke about RMI in the beginning. कि आप आर्ली चार्ट पे या डेली चार्ट पे उसको ट्रेंड लाइन या मूविंग एवरेज से ट्रेल करके रखो और उसको होल्ड करो कहाँ पे आपको काटना है. और लोअर टाइम या तो लोअर टाइम फ्रेम पे कर सकते हो कि लोअर टाइम फ्रेम पे वेयर द आरएमआई इज टर्निंग और क्रॉसिंग एन एवरेज और समथिंग you will look for an exit. So you can do that, or you can just keep moving your stop lower till it hits. So exiting is a process, but entry is very fine. And fine entry is important because you want to buy at the low or top. Okay. After that only you get that return. Sometimes immediate, sometimes after a while. In most cases, within a few days, you see it play out. So that's why the timing is important, so that you get immediate play out. Because we are fighting time, right? See, the whole idea why people lose money in options buying is time value of money. तो टाइमिंग सही करेंगे तो टाइम वैल्यू का प्रॉब्लम आप सॉल्व कर दोगे. फिर आपको सिर्फ दूसरी चीजें करनी है इन ऑप्शंस व्हिच आई विल कम टू दिस. लेट्स फिनिश द टाइमिंग पार्ट, देन वी विल कम टू द स्ट्रेटजी पार्ट. Okay, so now this is all the timing where we've tried to buy puts. Okay, now somewhere on a व्यू बेसिस आई ऑल्सो टेक द व्यू की ओके यहाँ पे अगर बहुत नीचे आगे आ रहा है मैं यहाँ पे कहीं कॉल भी लेने की कोशिश करते हैं. बट सिस्टम वाइज इट्स नॉट देयर. सिस्टम वाइज देयर वाज नो सिग्नल टू गो long over here. In fact, it was to try and go short again, but it didn't fall. Right? If you tried going short here on this signal, it just went down for 1 day, 2 day, and then it went up again. So here when it goes sideways, it doesn't go for more than a day, then we give it up. But now what is the latest signal? This is for you to execute right now. We have already put in our research services the note on Friday to start executing over the next 2 days the long side of this trade. What is the long side? The weekly RMI has given up buy signal this week over here. So what are we looking for? We are looking for an oversold swing. It happened on Friday. The reading is 16. It's already oversold below the red line. Okay, so this is where we start buying. So on Friday's close also we add. On Monday, the hourly RMI is not yet confirmed. So when the hourly RMI gives a buy signal and we close positive for the day, that is the final point at which we will further add. Now, what if it falls further on Monday? It doesn't give you that positive close. Then if you have already bought, you can further average. If you have not bought, then you make that your starting entry point and spread it over 2 days. While this will finally bottom, because this will go from 16 to 10 to 5 and then it will turn. Okay, so we try to buy into that point slowly at first, and then more certainly once the turnaround is visible on the hourly RMA, and then finally complete the entire quantity when the daily closing confirms. Okay, that is how we do it. And once it is done, what I would look for is an up move to develop. So once the up move starts, we have to try and ride it however far we can using the hourly RMI. So for the hourly RMI, simply see here also I can go to hour, but I've not been doing that. Okay, so if I go to hourly RMI here, it did not give a bullish crossover in the end. Right, sorry. Now let us just close the swing. Okay, if we are fine tuning, let me remove the drawings also. If you are fine tuning an entry or an exit, okay, it can be done on the hourly chart with the hourly RMI buy sell signals. So, like for example, here I said there was a short signal, and here the RMI gave a sell, and then we closed down. That's the point at which we say, okay, let's add to the puts over here. And the stop loss then is, of course, that till you cross this high, and then we are trying to ride this, trail this as far as possible. Same over here, when the hourly gives a sell over here, we add. So if we are not buying at the top, we are buying over here, okay, and then we are trying to ride it. So we already have the sell signal here on the hourly RMI, okay, and but what we are looking for is a buy, right? We are looking for, because this time around what we are looking for is weekly gave a buy signal. Is this giving? In our mentorship group, one of the students highlighted Bank Nifty gave a bullish crossover. So I had not seen, and when he put it, I'm like, yeah, great. Is that a lead indicator? So Bank Nifty's hourly RMI is already given a bullish crossover. So this system you can even apply to Bank Nifty or any major index, okay, where sufficient stocks are there. I know Bank Nifty is very narrow. Sometimes I don't like it, but any broad index, if you put it to, it will work. But swing itself cannot be applied to stocks because it's not a stock indicator. It is a basket of securities we are using to calculate swing. Okay, a large basket, more than 200 stocks, and or sometimes 250 stocks. And so when we are using a large basket, then it's meant to understand the market. So that's why we have to use an index. It's not meant to understand Reliance Industries. So the swing helps us time when the market becomes overly bearish. The readings drop below 20, which means too many stocks are getting bearish. And when it's above 20 means too many stocks are getting bullish. Above 80, sorry. Above 80 means too many are getting bullish. Above 90 means too much. And so when it reaches 95, 96, 97, it's reached an extreme. And then we see, okay, is it matching with the weekly? Are we supposed to buy puts? Now, if not, and reading is very high and you still want to take a bet, make your position size small, because contra trades against the trend should not be outsized bets. The chances of going wrong are higher. Just like you saw that when the trend is up over here, the high swing reading didn't work. Like it gave you a 1 day drop, but not a full trend. And so when it drops for a day and stops falling, then you know it's not working. So right now the signal for us is next few days we are supposed to buy call options. Okay, Nifty call options. So we are talking index. The trade has already started yesterday since the RMI swing went into oversold, and it will get further confirmations on Monday and Tuesday as it goes along, and we will then try to ride this move up based on this strategy. So you'll actually see it in action in the next 2 days. Does it work? Not work? Monday को ही पता चल जाएगा. ठीक है. And but I've shown you the history as to how it has worked through bullish and bearish phases. So you'll notice that yes, there are few times where it seems to not work, and that's usually based on trend. Okay, trend meaning कि अगर तेजी का market है तो मंदी के trade जो है, like this correction happened, but the RMI was taking time to give the bullish crossover. So at that point in an uptrend, it may just pause. It may just market just goes sideways and then goes up. But whereas if it's in a downtrend, the counter trend bounces end over there. Okay. Now there was one more overlay which we used for this top over here. Okay, this top. Now why is this top important? I'll tell you. You notice that we were getting the RMI didn't give a sell signal till this week. So last week we were looking for a top over here. Okay, and then the swing again reached high over here at this top. So when it reached high over here, do we short or not? So now there is one more indicator which I have not been discussing before, for especially for new users, because first you even if you do how much I've told you so far and what we've repeated this over the last few weeks, if we just do so much, it is actually sufficient. Okay, but we can always get better, right? We can always do a little more. So I'll add this histogram on this chart only. So how do you add it? We have created these new tools for those who have not seen it before. You can actually add our proprietary indicators here on the sentiment indicators directly now. Earlier it was not possible. So now that it's possible, I can actually add the histogram. Yeah, on the same chart. The advantage is now I can actually show you the additional use of this indicator in the context of timing. Okay, now this indicator, you notice it looks very similar during this time period. See, every indicator, especially those which are based on non-range bound data, sometimes the range changes. So whenever the range changes, what we do is we have manually put these dotted lines. We have defined where they should be for our, buy sell. or overbought, oversold. And if that data range changes, we change the dotted lines accordingly. So if you really go back in time, you'll find that पहले तो ये range ऐसा नहीं था, it was different. See here, now this dotted line is very up. So at that time, I had put this dotted line at 2 lakhs. Okay. Now we've raised it to 4-5 because the range changed. Now I'll just tell you how it works. And so this, and also one more thing I'll tell you, that when we didn't have weekly options so much, this was working in a slightly different way. Okay, so when you go back 2020 and before, you find it working in a different way, where when monthly options were more prominent for Nifty, uh, what used to happen is, if there was a lot of put writing in a particular month, this will make sense to everybody who studies options, which means that the writer has sold a lot of option puts, or people have bought a lot of puts. Now सब लोग ने put खरीद लिया तो थोड़ी market गिरेगा. So by that nature, the market used to remain up throughout the month if there was excessive put selling or buying. And similarly on the call side. So when you would see a lot of red bars at the bottom, so if I just zoom in the readings, because now the reading has changed. Just 1 second. Arey yaar, what is happening? Yeah. So when you see this, like a lot of red down here, that would usually be a bullish phase. Like you see, when this turned so much, the market would be going up and it would remain up till expiry. Okay, because it was monthly expiry. But now the pattern has changed based on weekly, and how we read it now, I'll tell you for the current context. So it's more important how you read it now. How we read it now is that when there is an excess on the top or bottom, the market gives you a short-term top or bottom over there. Okay, so I have put the red line right now at around close to 5 lakh, 5 lakh. Actually, this is not 5 lakh contracts, it is 5 lakh crores. So what we actually trying to measure here, and we take market-wide data. Market-wide meaning Nifty, stock options, everything put together. And we try to plot, the extent to which activity is happening in either contract. Okay, so if there are there's a lot of call buying, you'll see this overshooting on the upside. So when it shoots above 5 lakh contracts like this, it usually means that some kind of a short-term bottom may be coming in. A short-term bottom could be 1 day, 2 day, or prolonged. That is the view. But you do see a bounce. Like you see this reading here, touch the red line, it bounced back here for 3 days. This becomes very useful for options, because in the short term, options are short term, right? 3 दिन 4 दिन. अब ये देखो budget के दिन पे गिरा. Okay. Here the swing gave us a sell signal on budget day by going up. But when it fell in 3 days on budget day, this green line told us also to cover. So next day when the market opened slightly higher, it is time to cover because it may bounce back. This is green up. Similarly, when it is red down like this, when you get a red bar, it has often recently meant that you're at a market top. So when it is red, you are here at the Jan top. And this red is combining with the swing, so more powerful. और कभी कभी लीड लैग होता है, तो इसमें क्या हुआ, we got this signal. Then I said wait for the early RMI to give you a sell signal. वो कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे आया होगा. Okay, early RMI sell. और फिर उसके बाद इधर जब आया last final time, the swing had already come down, but this had not happened. So the market was still going up despite swing coming down, was still going up. ये नहीं हुआ था. Something had not reached an extreme. Okay, यहाँ पे puts खरीदना शुरू हो गए. Okay, या फिर put मतलब पूरे call कट गए. You look at it the other way कि ये green जो है, it is the call writers, and they have swung the other way, which means the market went up to the point where the writers gave up on the calls. All the calls have been squeezed. So it's like a short squeeze which is ended. So basically red is sort of a sign that the short squeeze is over. And at that point, then the market starts to fall again. And relevance is, like I said, for a few days only. We don't try to think beyond that. Then we look for the actual signal of reversal. और यहाँ पे reversal signal क्या आया है? दो चीज आए हैं. Weekly RMI buy में आ गया and swing is at 16. So this was the sell signal. Now this is giving us the buy signal. I hope it's not, for some people this who are thinking of this first time, now we're combining three things. It can sound complicated, but like I said, if you do it simply, if you even don't come to the histogram first, just do 2 steps. स्टेप नंबर 1, वीकली RMI बाय में है कि सेल में, कॉल लेना है कि पुट लेना है. ओके. स्टेप नंबर 2, डेली स्विंग कहाँ पे है. If the swing is less than 20, we have to start looking at buying calls. If the swing is above 80, I have to start looking at buying puts. And how to execute that buying over a 2-day period where the price starts reversing from down to up. The hourly RMI gives the hourly, which is a lower time frame, gives a buy signal or a sell signal. If you're buying calls, gives a buy signal, and the daily closes positive. And the daily closing positive is the last and final signal कि हाँ हो गया. यहाँ पे I need to complete the 100% of quantity that I want to do. Okay, that is the strategy for option buying. Okay, the histogram is an additional input that helps you fine tune that and sometimes get an idea कि अरे यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ है. So if you understood the histogram, you can watch this video again and further understand it as an additional input. Now last thing on strategy, okay, because this is the next important thing. कौन सा स्ट्राइक लेंगे, कितना लेंगे, क्या लेंगे, ये सवाल उठता है. ओके. और कौन से वीक का लेंगे. तो सबसे पहले तो आई ऑलवेज से डोंट बाय वीकली ऑप्शंस. आई नो दिस लुक्स वेरी इजी, इट लुक्स लाइक अरे यहाँ से तो गिरेगा ही, तो अगले वीक का ही ले लेते हैं. ज्यादा आगे जाके प्रीमियम क्यों भरना है. रॉन्ग. You will lose money. Believe me, I also started to believe that. I tried it for a year, I also lost money. And then I realized what stupidity. Because you see, the writer is also very smart. ना आप 4 दिन का, आपको अगर 4 दिन का ट्रेड चाहिए, वो 4 दिन में उतना गिरेगा ही नहीं जितना हम सोच रहे हैं. Okay, so sometimes you'll get like here the 90 reading came and then market went up and then came down. Now if you bought 1 week option, you would have lost in that time only that it went up and came down. तब तक आपका प्रीमियम ही घट गया and you would be crying. And by the time it fell for 3 days, you wouldn't make much money or you didn't have the patience to wait for it. So you have to fight options by buying time. So you have to buy more time. 5 दिन में गिरेगा, 15 दिन का टाइम खरीद लो. 1 महीने में गिरेगा, 3 महीने का टाइम खरीद लो. Okay, never buy the time that you think in which the action will happen. You think the price is going to fall in 1 week, buy 3 weeks. You can't lose if you're right. Okay, so this is very important, that buy more time. So I usually say use weekly, monthly options only. Forget weekly. 3 weeks expiry तो होना चाहिए, 3 week का expiration होना चाहिए. आप जो भी खरीद रहे हो उससे कम नहीं होना चाहिए. मंथली लोगे तो बेस्ट है, उसमें वो रिस्क ही नहीं रहता है कि एक हफ्ते रुकना पड़ा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम है. अगर व्यू सही है तो प्ले आउट होएगा ही. Okay, so therefore we buy more time. That is the first thing. The second thing is buy the right strike. We don't want to go too far out of the money. You can't go 4 strikes out of the money just to reduce the premium. The strike should be one where the delta, so every strike, okay, has a delta. At the money options usually have a delta of 0.5. As you go more and more out of the money, the delta will keep dropping. 0.5 say 0.4, 0.3. You want a delta that is greater than equal to 0.35. इससे नीचे नहीं जाना है आपको. तो आप यूजुअली 1 या 2 स्ट्राइक बाहर जाओगे ना. अगर 25,000 है, 25,100, 200, तो आप डेल्टा के अंदर ही हो. अगर आप सोच रहे हो नहीं 25,500 जाऊं, तो एक बार डेल्टा देख लो. ओके, 0.35 के अंदर है, ठीक है, यू कैन डू इट, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट जस्ट चेक दैट, बिकॉज इफ यू आर डूइंग डेल्टा ऑफ 0.2, तो यू आर सो फार आउट ऑफ द मनी. जो ऑप्शन राइटर तो सोच रहा है कि मैं तो 0.2 से कम बेच के फ्री का पैसा कमा लूं, तो आप उसको फ्री का पैसा दे रहे हो. आप कह रहे हो ये ले लो और ले जाओ, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट यू आर डूइंग व्हेन यू आर selling 0.2, because 0.2 simply means 20% probability of winning. Okay, but you can't have a probability of more than 50% because it's 0.5 at the money, unless you go deep in the money, फिर तो फ्यूचर ही हो गया. तो 0.5 से लेके 0.35 के अंदर हमारा टॉलरेंस रहता है कि इसमें सही हो सकता है. ओके, उसके नीचे टॉलरेंस खराब हो जाता है. उसके बाद वो ऑप्शन राइटर के फेवर में चला जाता है कि आप बहुत आउट ऑफ द मनी हो गए, अब तो वही कमाएगा, आपका तो गया. ठीक है. So this is the second thing you have to keep in mind. And third is never put all the money at once. Okay, and always have additional capital for the next trade. क्योंकि एक ट्रेड अगर गलत गया तो सेकंड ट्रेड लेने के लिए पैसा होना चाहिए. क्योंकि एक ट्रेड गलत होता है और सेकंड ट्रेड सही जाता है और सेकंड के लिए पैसा नहीं होता है फिर, क्योंकि हमने तो गवा दिया. तो ऑलवेज स्प्रेड आउट मनी, हैव इनफ फॉर बीइंग एबल टू टेक 2 ट्रेड्स इफ नॉट 3. ओके, एंड टेक अ पोजीशन ओवर 2 days 50-50 करके, तो आप संभले रहोगे. Using the 3 pointers that I gave you: low swing reading, starting point, hourly RMI, daily positive close. Using these 3 pointers, you do your one lot, and you're sorted. Okay. So I think this summarizes the entire option strategy that you have to execute. I have added one more indicator to it also for you today, and that should really help you to, for those who have already been watching this for a while, help you to do it. And these indicators are all on strike. You saw we have further evolved this screen where you can add indicators on the same screen, ours, the RMI along with the swing and other things also. So it's much more evolved now. This was not there 3 months ago. So these are new additions that we have done. In fact, all diffusion and because diffusion are also sentiment indicators, so we can add all of them on the same screen and match them. And you'll find certain help videos that tell you ki which are the short term sentiment indicators, medium term, long term. तो long term वाले आप यूज कर रहे हो तो long term वाले एक साथ प्लॉट कर सकते हो एक चार्ट पे और देख सकते हो. So that is a good way to usually use the Strike platform. So with that, I will open up to questions. I think I'm done with the strategy aspect, which I think you should have understood.
Okay, sir. So, wonderful session, but I can see a lot of hands are already being raised. Okay, we'll go towards the questions one by one. So, I'll just request you to stick to the question. And जो भी आपका सवाल है आप पूछ लीजिए, लेकिन एक ही सवाल रखते हैं per person because फिर ज़्यादा लोगों को सवाल पूछने में आसानी रहेगी. Okay, first up I can see Ashish Sharma, sir. If you could ask your question, I'll just unmute you.
Good morning, Rohit. Good morning, Shakshi.
Good morning.
Rohit, is there a Sensex in this our
No.
sentiment? No. Okay, there is
Only
no
NSE
issue.
data right now in Strike.
Right. So it's all I'm the regular user, and stock options is like I can't define in this platform.
Yeah, but
Kind
see,
of
this will give
options.
you the execution and timing anyway.
Yes.
आप उस पे सेंसेक्स पे कर लोगे उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने का कोई भी बड़ा
No
इंडेक्स
need.
चलेगा.
No need. Just I'm asking because no need when the precision is you are saying 4 times, I'm saying 10 out of 8 times. In my experience. And stock options with RMI, I can't explain the gains. And last important thing is that we have to see only at 9:15, 10:15, reduces our time on the screen also, and we work efficiently in our office and our business. Thanks for that. Just I'm asking for sense. That's very fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Moving ahead. Uh, Rohit Agarwal, sir, if you could ask your question, I'll unmute you over here.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Hi, Rohit. Thank you so much for this session. It was great. Just a quick question on the most recent example, which is showed on the Nifty weekly and the Nifty daily time frame, wherein
Hmm.
it says that a divergence is coming.
Hmm.
Can you just quickly plot the Elliott wave to see like where exactly are you on there? Is it 1, 2, 3, or is it the start of 3?
No, of course. See, I do Elliott wave counting, but we can't automate Elliott wave analysis. So that I anyway publish in my research service the Elliott wave count. So when I am executing, I am overlaying that as well.
Okay.
But this system can be executed without Elliott wave as well, is what I was trying to show. Because systematically, when you see all the highs and lows I was showing, is that it anyway works at those points. The only difference is कि छोटा pullback होगा, बड़ा होगा, वो हमें wave analysis से थोड़ा और input मिल जाता है कि yes, this can be a bigger reversal or a smaller reversal. So we are able to take that view as an additional input. But definitely you get a trend change on these readings.
ओके तो बेसिकली अभी जो 4-5 इंडिकेटर लगाए उसके ऊपर अगर एलियट वेव और लगाएंगे तो दैट विल गिव अस मोर कॉन्फिडेंस राइट
Yeah, it will give you confidence. It will give you a potential of the size of the move also.
Got it. Thank you. And one last question. You said to buy options with a delta of like 0.3, which is around 0.3 or 0.5, which is at the money. But wouldn't it be better to go in the money so the delta is like almost 1 so that your premium is very, very less?
No,
Like
one
the
में तो
extra premium that you buy.
प्रीमियम ऑफ वन में तो प्रीमियम तो ज्यादा हो गया. मतलब यू आर सेइंग ओके, यू आर सेइंग द इंट्रिंसिक
The
वैल्यू,
extra,
आप इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू
yes,
पूरा ले रहे हो, बट
correct.
यू विल हैव टू डिप्लॉय मोर फंड्स, बट देन दैट्स इक्वल टू बिकमिंग अ फ्यूचर ना, क्योंकि वन
No,
करने के
but
लिए यू विल गो डीप इन द मनी.
करेक्ट, एटलीस्ट 300 और 400 पॉइंट डीप इन द मनी। बट उससे बेनिफिट ये होगा कि फ्यूचर्स में इंडिया में जो टैक्स अभी चेंज हुए हैं, जो सिस्टम वगैरह, सो देयर इज सो मच ऑफ ब्रोकरेज चार्जेस एंड एसटीटी एंड एवरीथिंग कि फ्यूचर्स में ब्रेक इवन करने के लिए यू नीड मोर पॉइंट्स।
Okay.
उसको चेंज करने के लिए इफ वी गो लाइक 300 400 पॉइंट्स इन द डीप, wouldn't that be a better strategy?
I'll put it this way. I am not trading for points. I think
Okay.
if people have not understood ये जो मैंने ऑप्शन बाइंग बताया है, जब तक आप बेचोगे और आपका टारगेट आया 2x 3x नहीं हुआ ना, तो मत करो। मैं सच में बोल रहा हूँ, ये 2x
Okay.
3x का सी ऑप्शन बाइंग आप 2 रुपए कमाने के लिए नहीं आते, फिर तो आप सेलिंग ही करो।
नहीं, 2
ऑप्शन
रुपए
बाइंग आप तब करते हो जब आपको अपना ऑप्शन का प्राइस डबल करना है या ट्रिपल करना है। ओके,
करेक्ट।
so therefore if I buy an at the money option and it costs me 300 rupees for me, I expect it to become 500 600 at least.
गॉट इट।
बट ठीक है, वो आपको फ्यूचर में क्यों नहीं करता हूँ, मेरा फ्यूचर नहीं करने का क्या कारण है कि चाहे कुछ ऐसा हो जाए जो मैं नहीं सोच सकता कल सुबह उठ के,
गॉट इट।
तो मेरा प्रीमियम से ज्यादा नुकसान नहीं होएगा। अब आप जैसे डीप इन मनी चले गए तो आपने काफी प्रीमियम को ओपन कर दिया मार्केट में, तो आप उतना
करेक्ट।
रिस्क ले रहे हो। मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि मैं मिनिमम रिस्क लूं।
अंडरस्टूड, अंडरस्टूड, फेयर पॉइंट, या थैंक यू सो मच।
Okay, moving ahead. Vinayak Karode, sir, if you could also ask your question, I'll just request you to unmute.
हेलो सर।
या
सर मराठी में पूछ सकता हूँ मैं? आई एम नॉट कंफर्टेबल, मैं ज़्यादा एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता।
हिंदी में ना?
हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ मैं।
हाँ, मैं तो खुद ही हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ।
नहीं, कुछ वर्ड्स है जो मैं हिंदी में भी बोल नहीं सकता, इसलिए मैंने पूछा आपको।
नहीं, हिंदी में बोलिए,
मैं
इंग्लिश में बोलिए, दूसरी भाषा मुझे नहीं आएगी।
ओके ओके सर। आपने जैसे कहा सर कि 3 और 4 मतलब मंथ एंड की एक्सपायरी लेना है निफ्टी पुट या कॉल, और जब कोई न्यूज आ जाए और वो फिर से पलट जाए, तो स्टॉप लॉस क्या होगा उस ऑप्शन का, कॉल पुट या पुट बाय का? इन केस अभी वॉर चल रहा है या कोई न्यूज आ गया तो वापिस घूम गया, तो स्टॉप लॉस क्या रखेंगे उसके लिए?
सी, आपका अगर प्रीमियम 50% घट रहा है तो आपको काट लेना चाहिए।
ओके ओके सर।
दैट इज वन वे ऑफ थिंकिंग अबाउट इट। और दूसरा है कि अगर जहां से मैंने खरीदा वहां का जो हाई है, जो भी निफ्टी का उस टाइम पे हाई या लो बना था, उसके आगे चला गया
हाँ
तो
हाँ।
भी काट लेना चाहिए।
ओके सर। और सर दूसरा, मैं स्ट्राइक और इनसाइड यूज करता हूँ स्टॉक्स के लिए, उसमें रिजल्ट्स भी आ रहे हैं। निफ्टी जैसी कोई स्ट्रेटेजी है हम स्टॉक में देख सकते हैं रेगुलर, डेली या वीकली के लिए, कि पुट या कॉल ऑप्शन बाय करके जा सकते हैं एनी स्टॉक या इसका?
निफ्टी का तो मैंने स्ट्रेटेजी अभी समझा दिया पूरा।
हाँ हाँ, वो तो सर मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ, मैं स्टॉक्स के लिए पूछ रहा हूँ अगर कुछ है।
स्टॉक्स के लिए सी, अभी स्टॉक्स का तो अलग सेशन ही हो जाएगा। मैं कैसे
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि सर स्टॉक्स के लिए ले सकते हो क्या आप?
स्टॉक्स में स्विंग इंडिकेटर नहीं है, स्टॉक्स के लिए अलग स्ट्रेटेजी सोचना बताना पड़ेगा। वी विल
हाँ
ट्राई टू
वही
डू
वही।
समथिंग ऑन दैट, बट वो मैं आज नहीं कवर कर सकता।
हाँ सर, वही
बट
वही बोल
स्टॉक्स के लिए मैंने एक चीज बताई कि आप आरएमआई के बेसिस से, आई ओनली एक्सप्लेन्ड आरएमआई, आप ओआई इनसाइट्स की बात कर रहे हो, विच इज अ डिफरेंट
रहा।
टूल।
हाँ
वो
हाँ
अलग टूल है, उसका अलग सेशन लगेगा समझने के लिए।
हाँ हाँ। ओके सर। और सर कमोडिटी में कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं? कमोडिटी तो अवेलेबल नहीं है स्ट्राइक में, तो
स्ट्राइक में कमोडिटी नहीं है। अगर कमोडिटी पे आपको आरएमआई चाहिए तो आप मेरी टीम से बात करिए, वो ट्रेडिंग व्यू पे आपको एक्सेस दे सकते हैं।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, थैंक
Yeah.
यू।
Thank you, Vinayak ji. Moving ahead. Dharmesh Patel, sir, if you could ask your question, I'll just request you to unmute. Okay, moving ahead. Hemal Mehta, ma'am, if you could please ask your question, I'll just request you to unmute.
Very good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग।
Sir, I have a question. While buying options, VIX also plays an important role. Like the VIX remain elevated. So when VIX are elevated, you end up paying more premium. So how do we take a call as to uh, when to buy option when VIX starts cooling off or with these indicators, obviously, which you have shown. So how does that play out? Just wanted to understand that.
So I have shown you all the recent examples. I have shown you the example of this buy signal over here. So if we were buying call options over here, which we have recommended also in our service, did I care about the VIX? The answer is no. And the reason is this, that you are right that you are paying a lot of premium. But the reason you are paying a lot of premium and why people lose money if they pay too much premium is you don't time it correctly. When you time it correctly, what you're looking for is a rebound. If prices have fallen, they will go up. This rebound was sharp enough that even if you bought calls over here at a high VIX, you still doubled your call premium over here. Now, there's no way for me to bring the premium down at the bottom of the market. My job is to time it correctly so that no matter what, you should be able to earn from it. So, timing is key. Once you time it, then VIX has no role to play in your decision making process. I hope I'm making sense. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, no, I didn't get an okay from him, so I don't know if he got it.
Okay, so we'll continue with the questions, but I'm getting a lot of questions about the offer, so I'll just repeat it for everyone once again. I'll just like to share my screen, and those who are maybe can if you can see my screen, this is an exclusive offer for all the members who are over here right now watching this webinar, and this is an exciting offer where you get 6 months of strikes plus 6 months of India charts for 9,999, and if you go for 1 year, so you get 1 year strike plus 1 year India charts in 19,999. So you get a best of both worlds over here, and with India's charts insider club and strike analytics, you get a even more powerful combo. So I'll just leave the screen over here so that you can maybe scan the QR code, and I'll also be sharing a link in the chat box as well. So if maybe you're watching on your phone, then you can directly click on the link and move ahead with that as well. Okay. Now we may move back towards, okay, I can see a lot of questions again. More hands are being raised. So moving towards the Q&A once again. At the end also, I'll be sharing the screen. So if you miss out on it right now, so I'll be sharing it once again. Do not worry. So I'll just stop my screen share. Moving towards the question. Okay, Praful Botra, sir, if you could ask your question, I'll request you to unmute over here.
Good morning, Rohit sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what should be the exit strategy for the options which we have bought? Exit कैसे करेंगे?
तो मैंने बताया था, मैं फिर से बताता हूँ जैसे कि अगर यहाँ पे मैंने पुट लिया तो मैं काटूंगा कब? The answer is number one, when the hourly RMI gives me a buy signal. Okay. Now, if I feel that no, I don't want to do it only on that, I want to wait for it to fall more or something, then I'll have to use a moving average. I can use the 40-hour moving average or something, some other trend break signal to tell me that it is reversing. If I am making 2 times, 3 times on my option, usually that is a good enough time to book, because उससे ज्यादा usually एक महीने में बनता नहीं है. Okay, बहुत ही रेयरली बहुत बड़ा मूव आया तो होता है, और बहुत बड़ा मूव अगर आ रहा है तो आप ट्रेल कर लो मूविंग एवरेज से. बट आर्ली आरएमआई इज अ गुड वन टू यूज फॉर एंट्री एग्जिट.
ओके, मतलब कॉल अगर बाय किया है तो अगर आवरली आरएमआई अगर सेल पे जा रहा है तो वी शुड एग्जिट.
या यू कैन डू दैट.
Okay.
Okay. Moving ahead, Dhaval, but if you could also ask your question, I'll just request you to unmute.
Sir, good morning.
Yeah.
Sir, first of all, sir, thank you so much for making such a wonderful platform called Strike. हम लोग ऑलरेडी से 2025 तक मैं मेंबर हूँ सर स्ट्राइक का. सर एक चीज वो करना था, अगर फर्दर फ्यूचर अपडेट्स में अगर आप यू कैन इनकॉर्पोरेट सर, ये जो आरएमआई इंडिकेटर जो है इसके हम लोग हेलो
Yeah, no, go on.
सर, ये जो आरएमआई इंडिकेटर जो है उसको हम सर ट्रेडिंग में सर उसको यूज कर सकते हैं कैसे, इफ यू कैन इन सम हाउ इफ यू कैन इनकॉर्पोरेट इट इन ट्रेडिंग में सर.
No, it is there. It is on a request only basis. We offer it to people on TradingView. So you can just speak to the team on TradingView access. Hello.
I think
We lost him.
yeah. Okay, let's move ahead. Manish Agarwal ji, if you could ask your question, I'll request you to unmute.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, I'm using the strike since very long time, but today you point out one more indicator, call minus put histogram. So whenever we take a trade, there is a divergence. It will
I think you'll have to do a mute all once, Sakshi. I don't know.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
keep
I
getting,
just a
we'll
second.
keep getting noise otherwise.
Yes.
I think it's silent now. Manish, you can go on.
Yes, sir. Sir, today you point out one more indicator for one confirmation, that is call minus put histogram.
Yeah.
So can you just put it again, that call minus put histogram? Because I believe right now in today's scenario also, there is a weekly buy, daily sell, hourly is pretending to be buy. So
Yeah.
I couldn't understand that call minus put histogram.
No, the call minus put histogram has only some signals. It gives you a sell signal when it was red over here. Okay. It gives you a buy signal when it recrosses this dotted line up on top. From here to here, there is no signal. There is nothing to do from the histogram. But even from here to here, we do get swing wala buy and sell signals. So
Yes.
I don't need कि swing is telling me sell, histogram में कुछ नहीं है तो अरे अभी मैं क्या करूं, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. तो हिस्टोग्राम से कुछ मत करो, इग्नोर करो वो. बट वो अगर मुझे कुछ सिग्नल देता है और उसके साथ दूसरा चीज भी है तो इट गिव्स कॉन्फिडेंस, फर्दर कॉन्फिडेंस. सो इट इज ओनली एन एडिशनल कंफर्मेशन इफ यू गेट इट. इफ यू डोंट गेट इट, कुछ नहीं. वो जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बार वो कंफर्म करेगा. मेन एग्जीक्यूशन हमारा आरएमआई वीकली प्लस डेली स्विंग का ही है. बाकी डेली आरएमआई सेल दे रहा है, उससे भी कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. मंथली आरएमआई बाय में है, सेल में है, उससे भी कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. माय मेन इंडिकेटर हियर इज वीकली आरएमआई एंड डेली स्विंग.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a few more questions only. Moving ahead, Amit Porwal, sir, if you could ask your question, I'll just unmute you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rohit sir. I actually have a question, bit not related to the one currently in the session. Actually, I took your subscription recently, and I was going through the report, the Sweat Truth one. You mentioned about your bullishness over the commodity cycle. I just want to understand how do we play that?
By buying commodity related metal stocks, mining stocks, agro stocks.
Yeah, the agro stock is what I am a bit confused. So do we have any ETF as such? For example, for metal, we have metal index. We can play using that. But how do we?
I have no. So yeah, in India, I don't know in India whether there is an agro, because I personally don't. I do direct equity. Okay, so I don't buy mutual funds or ETFs. Otherwise, it would have been on top of my fingers. So, but you'll have to do that research and find if there is something or not.
Okay, then agro stocks in India, how can?
There are some global agro ETFs. Somebody had messaged me a day or two ago about an ETF in the US if you're at all investing in through LRS.
Okay, but in India, how can we play it?
So I'm not sure of any fund in India. I have recommended stocks in that segment under Value Wave. So Value Wave investments, there are many stocks which I have recommended that are in the agro related space.
Oh, okay. So okay, I'll explore that section.
Yeah.
Value Wave, right?
Value Wave investments, that's the section. Under stocks, Value Wave investments, those are longer term. So Value Wave investments usually focus over multi-years, for long-term returns where we see significant, long-term opportunity. So since I've mentioned this, I've started including a lot of stocks from the agro space there.
Okay, all right. I'll check that space. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Okay, moving ahead. Rajendra Prasad Sharma, sir, if you could ask your question.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. रोहित
Good
सर
morning.
सर आपका ये वेबिनार मैंने पहली बार अटेंड किया और मतलब इसके बारे में स्ट्राइक के बारे में जाना तो सर इसके बारे में सर कुछ और मतलब जैसे सब्सक्रिप्शन लेकर के कुछ मतलब डीपली सीख सकते हैं इसके बारे में कि कैसे क्या यूज करना है इसका
बिल्कुल
अपना
तो हमारे वंस यू ज्वाइन स्ट्राइक देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस ऑलरेडी स्ट्राइक प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर जो डाले हुए हैं हर टूल के लिए और प्लस हमारी टीम डेमो भी देती रहती है समय समय पे तो आप वो डेमो सेशंस भी ज्वाइन करके सीख सकते हैं प्लस वेबिनार्स करते हैं जैसे ये किया अलग वेबिनार्स भी हैं ऑन डिफरेंट टूल्स इन स्ट्राइक टाइम से आज इनफैक्ट एक जो उसमें RRG टूल है रिलेटिव रोटेशन ग्राफ्स जो कि सेक्टर परफॉर्मेंस को ट्रैक करता है उसका आज 4 बजे एक वेबिनार है वो भी ऑनलाइन हमने पोस्ट किया है तो उसमें आप ज्वाइन करके उसके बारे में सीख सकते हैं तो उसके अलग सेशंस होते रहते हैं
ओके ओके तो सर मतलब जैसे कि ये सब्सक्रिप्शन मैं लूंगा जैसे आपका ये स्ट्राइक का तो इससे रिलेटेड मतलब वीडियोस वो मिल जाएंगे रिकॉर्डेड सेशंस मुझे
बिल्कुल वहां पे हेल्प सेक्शन है वहां पे है और हमारा यूट्यूब चैनल भी है स्ट्राइक मनी का उस पे हमने जितने पुराने वेबिनार्स और सेशंस किए हैं वो पूरे वहां पे यूट्यूब चैनल पे डाले हुए हैं
ओके सर ओके थैंक यू सर
थैंक यू
Okay, moving ahead, last question now. किशोर जी अगर आप आपका सवाल पूछ सकते हैं I will just unmute.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am using 15 minutes time frame and doing only intraday on Nifty options. So what should be my higher time frame? I don't see any higher time frame, but if I start seeing what should be it?
So, see, I don't go below hourly. So my time frame is only different. And my trades are positional. They last for several days. अब आप अगर 15 मिनट देख रहे हो तो उसका मतलब है कि आप मोस्टली इंट्राडे ट्रेड कर रहे हो
ओनली इंट्राडे
हाँ तो आपको जो करना है उस हिसाब से आप कर रहे हो मैं उसमें रेकमेंड क्या करूं मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि आपको इंट्राडे करना है तो आप 15 मिनट देख ही रहे हो तो उसमें कोई चेंज करने का ही नहीं
हायर टाइम फ्रेम देखने की जरूरत नहीं है हायर टाइम फ्रेम देखने की जरूरत नहीं है
नहीं बट यू मस्ट यूज 2 टाइम फ्रेम कॉम्बिनेशन मतलब सी 15 मिनट के साथ आप आवरली या 30 मिनट यूज करो या 15 के साथ 5 मिनट यूज करो तो 2 टाइम फ्रेम इस्तेमाल करेंगे ना जिस तरह मैंने शुरुआत में समझाया 2 टाइम फ्रेम का पर्पस तो उससे एक बायस बन जाता है किसी अगर मैं 15 मिनट पे बोलूंगा कि 15 मिनट पे बुलिश आ गया तो मैं 5 मिनट पे लॉन्ग ट्रेड्स ही करूंगा तो दैट इज बेटर
Sir, sorry, just a second. I think you are sharing the wrong screen on your, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
No, I didn't know I was in sharing mode.
Yeah.
No, so I was just saying, sorry, I was just messaging. We can take some more questions.
Oh, okay. No problem. So then I'll do that.
trying to wait. So let's give it like till 12
Yes.
o'clock. Yeah.
ठीक है सर, आगे बढ़ते हैं फिर सम्राट पातुंडे सर, if you could ask your question.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, it's an honor to hear you. I've been following you a long time. I'm a student of late Gautam sir and Amit sir. Sir, one request, sir.
Yeah.
Being I'm still trying to, I mainly trade in Nifty and still trying to understand stock options. This session was very insightful. So the thing is, just one suggestion, if you can do that, then for small traders like us, it will be greatly beneficial. The thing is, I have shared with you one screener, okay, which through the rules actually gives, which are high probability buy or sell stocks, something like that. If can be incorporated here, it will help people like us who pay a lot of money to TradingView Premium for getting alerts. Okay, so to stop that subscription and get associated with you. It's just a prayer, sir, with folded hands.
No, but I'm not getting exactly what you want.
So the thing is, you showed us, right, on a weekly or a monthly basis using your momentum indicator, how you filter and how you try to see.
Yeah.
Now, sir, the thing is, I'm not a full-time trader. Okay, sir. So we have got works and all. So every day looking at the full FNO watch list and then finding out something or this filtration. So if this, whenever something comes out over here, if that can be captured over an alert to the users.
Understood.
So that
Understood.
will
So we are so right now what we have still not incorporated in our system is something called alerts. We are right now in the process of launching our mobile app, which is the first step towards going towards alerts. And once the mobile app goes live, hopefully this month, then we will work on having an alert system for everything. So
thank you, sir. Thanks for hearing this, because we pay a lot for that premium thing, and that money will, as a small trader, I can divert for learning more from stalwarts like you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for giving the chance to speak.
Thank you. Pleasure.
God bless you.
ओके, लेट्स मूव अहेड. राजेश जी, अगर आप आपका सवाल पूछ सकते हैं. राजेश बुर्ले जी, मैं यहाँ पे आपको अनम्यूट कर देती हूँ.
Very good morning, Rohit sir.
Yeah, very good morning.
Yeah, I'm Rajesh. In fact, I lost a lot of money about 20 years back, mainly because of futures, trading in futures. Then I went off the market, started investing, and then again lost money. Then I was tracking, I was reading all mails and all everything. Then now I dared, okay, let's see. Even by investing, if you're losing, let's start trading again. So I opted for Strike platform and all. And one thing about this stock options, I'm more interested into specific stocks because Nifty makes a lot of noise. Yes, when the direction was there, I did play in the Nifty options. Now, last 3-4 days, the Nifty came down again. Anyway, now regarding the stock options, one example I just wanted to give about the Apollo hospitals. When he gave a buy call, then I started tracking that. And one thing I want to explain, I'm overwhelmed. Sorry for that. I could not express myself very well.
Yeah.
Because first time I'm speaking to a stalwart like you.
No. Yeah.
That when the candlestick showed, okay, this is a dark cloud cover, then I wanted to exit the position. But then again, when the daily RMI was showing sell mode, and when it came into buy mode, I doubled the position. That is how I'm overcame with that fear.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. And because I did not want to repeat the same mistakes, so I'm mostly into the stock options now. So with that, it will be very helpful. Now, what I wanted to ask is, all this RMI and all this is all at the spot price or the futures price, because the futures price, the premium within 5 minutes or so, it goes very high. Accordingly, the options also move very fast.
So we do all our
Option
execution,
prices.
we do all our execution and we give all our calls based on spot prices only, because the discount premium can sometimes hit your stop loss and things like that. So analysis has to be done on spot, even if we are executing in futures. So that is how it is.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And I'm actually, so since few more people talked about stock options and you also said that you are deterred towards index options versus my entire session today is to bring back comfort to index, because what I have found is there's so much rotation in stocks. Okay, so this is just my view. Rotation meaning if index rallies 500 points, the first 2 days it goes up on 5 stocks, the next 2 days on another 5 stocks, the next 3 days on another 5 stocks. The only thing certain is that the index goes up 500 points. Which stocks will drive it keeps changing every few days. And therefore, when I buy stock options, जो आज चलता है वो कल नहीं चलता है, जो कल चलता है वो परसों नहीं चलता है, and in the end, I get stuck in a lot of stock options. So, while sometimes it's a good thing to be in stock option, many times I found that it was better off to be in index option. The only thing missing would have been the methodology was not clear. So that is why today's session, I was trying to show that the methodology is very, very straightforward if you use this system, that index options should be very profitable. After that, you should not have to really think about stock options. That is my very differentiated point on the whole subject.
Okay, I think ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Yeah.
Subir Rao ji, if you could ask your question, I'll just request you to unmute.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
Rohit. Hi. Thanks for the webinar. Rohit, I have one question which was regarding delta, which you mentioned for options. So what do you mean by delta is, so for example, if an option has a 0.5 delta, that means if the market moves up by 100, the conversion in the premium will only be $50. That's the meaning of the delta, right?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
So is that data available on anywhere, or we have to, there is a way how to get this data?
So if, for example, I am at Nifty 50, okay, so I'm showing you the strike screen. I go to options. I go to option chain.
Okay.
Now this is the option chain. Now I want to know the delta of all the strikes. All I need to do is change this to delta. Now this is the delta chart of all the strikes.
Okay.
So now the orange line here is at the money, which is 23,900. Okay, so if I'm looking at put, so I look at 20, so if I look at 24, 23, 28, you see the delta will keep going from 0.3, 0.4. As I go more out of the money, the delta keeps dropping. So here it is 0.34. So basically it is saying that, okay, if you're buying a strike by 23,700, okay, if I go to leave it 23,600, it is okay. But don't go beyond that, because then the delta will drop.
Yeah, like you said, 0.35 to 0.5 should be the range.
So I don't want to buy this part.
So the general logic is,
or maybe till here maximum, but this is okay. Okay, this is not okay, and same way here also. Now this is of course in the money, so here on the put, on the call side, the same thing will apply down here. But if I'm doing monthly option, so I will look at 26th of May. Okay, so 26th of May is the monthly, and here I can go till 0.35 is here, or 0.34 worst case, but 0.35, so that allows me till 23,600.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So for you, the safe range would be 0.35 to 0.5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere there. And then the logic is that once you are in the money, then obviously the delta runs up.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Once you're in the money, then the delta goes higher.
Higher. Okay. Thank you, Rohit, so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Subir ji. अभी एक last सवाल लेते हैं, sir. Murali Krishna ji, if you could ask your question, I'll request you to unmute, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Shakshi. And namaste, Aroji. So I was following up from last 10, 12 years in IC. but I was not trading much on the options or trade or the strikes, and I was taking some couple of long-term views like BHEL, BL. So such stocks I took and I have done. And last time when you said 25,000 put option you buy, when these I bought that only one lot I bought, but I made 2x. It was really made boost my trading
confidence.
What you call confidence. And so after that, I have not traded. Last month I made, and I have just simply waiting for further some strike price. When you say, I think really I can work on that. So really, if that comes in your, I'm a member of ICIC club, so I registered myself for 2 years, not 1 year.
So usually when I write the strategy note, I tried the Nifty strategy like I wrote on Friday. I don't write the strike just hoping that people will look up the delta and do it themselves.
No,
So that thoda to learning hoye.
Learning होने गया, लेकिन you know, I am in my late 50s, so I don't want to take risk also.
Yeah.
That is why risk reward is very good in sometimes. So I'm trying to catch up, but today's session was really eye opener, and I was not using much the strike. Only evening after coming back from office, I would just used to check it.
Yeah.
Very useful, and thank you very much. I wanted to meet you last year when you came to Bangalore, but unfortunately I was not able to come. Definitely when you come to Bangalore next time, I would like to meet you. Thank you very much for the insights what you are providing. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think we'll keep this the last question, but there are a lot of questions about the offer as well. So before we end the session, I'll just like to again share the offer details with all of you. I've just now shared my screen. Hopefully, it is visible to everyone. So this is an exciting offer for all the members who are right now in this particular webinar, attending this webinar. So this is an exclusive offer for all of you. यहाँ पे आपको 6 month strike plus 6 महीने का India charts मिल जाएगा सिर्फ 9,999 में, and 1 year strike plus 1 year India charts would be for 19,999. It is an exclusive offer for everyone, so do make sure that you avail this offer right now. And I'll also be sharing a link in the description. So if you are maybe watching it on your phone, you can just click on the link and make the payment. So we'll just leave it over here for a minute before we end this particular session as well. Okay, so hopefully everyone has subscribe to this particular offer. And lastly, thank you so much, Rohit sir, for this wonderful, insightful session. Hopefully, we'll be doing more such sessions as well. And I know I can see a lot of people still raising hands, but guys, you can just maybe put it in the comment section of our YouTube videos as well. Sir also makes a lot of insightful YouTube content as well, and you must watch it. And surely, also, if you have maybe missed any part of this session, you can watch it on any of the social media platforms as well. We were live over there as well, and this will be recorded and that will be also posted on the social media platforms. So make sure that you don't miss out any questions. Jot them down, and the next webinar you can surely ask them. So thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it and did get to ask their questions as well.
Pleasure, Sakshi. Thank you so much for hosting it.
Thank you. At the end, if anyone has any questions, I'll be still in the meeting. You can maybe put it into the chat box. Any questions about the offer or anything regarding the offer, I'll wait back over here. You can maybe put it in my chat box, text me over there, and I'll be answering it as well. If you guys have any questions for the offer details, okay, there is a question for the QR code. I will just do one thing. I'll just share my screen once again, and maybe then you'll be able to have a look at the QR code as well. Just give me a minute. I'll share my screen right now. Anyone else who has any question, please put it in our chat box. Okay. Hopefully you can see the screen right now. Yeah, so I'll just keep it over here. Anyone who wants to maybe subscribe right now can just quickly scan the QR code and follow through the payment as well. There is a link in the chat box, everyone. If you are not being able to scan the QR code, आप directly जा सकते हो chat box पे जो link है उस पे click कर सकते हो and you can avail this offer. This offer is exclusively for all of you guys. So please make sure that you avail this particular offer as well. Okay, hopefully whoever wanted to scan the QR code, you are done with it. I'll be stopping the screen share right now. I'll still wait back if anyone wants. Anyone who wants any help with any other thing, I'll just wait back and you can ask the questions. Maybe put it in my chat box and I'll be surely taking them as well.